Hello, everyone. Yeah, look, big apologies. I'm really sorry, but Virgil's late tonight. He's kind of we've been waiting for him backstage for about 10 minutes. He's you know. Oh look, he's here. He's popped up. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Mate, you're a mug. You know that. I've been here longer than I've been here talking to Black Country Hammer. Right? This is the first time I've had a conversation with Black Country Hammer, and I've been able to understand him. Yeah, in the chat.
Does he talk like, all right, how y'all doing?
When he types, I don't hear the accent, so I can understand him.
Remind me, I've got to give Black Country, Black Country's number, because for when you go down to Birmingham, he wants to have a jar with you.
It's not going down, Nick. It's going up. You're such a snob. You're such a London snob.
I know. Well, it is going down, though, isn't it?
Technically, Birmingham's not the Black Country, but I get it's near it.
Yeah. Right. Well, look. Welcome to the Sunday Night Booze Up / Talkhammers show. We're going to be going through having a quick chat on that shit show that we all witnessed yesterday. We're going to talk about the pretty outrageous comments that we heard from David Moyes, and then Declan Rice. More surprisingly, we're going to talk about that and give our thoughts on that and see if John can defend this one. And then we're going to do the player ratings, and then we're going to get Sean Whetstone on the phone to give us some breaking news about probably not much, but he's going to give us his take. He's obviously, I'm assuming he's spoken to the little one, so he's gonna tell us what he knows about the David Moyes situation. And then I've got a couple of calls queued up. People who have texted me said they want to. So if you do want to phone in and you know the number already, send me a text and I'll phone you before I open the phone lines. And it just saves me going mental with the fucking beeping on the phone calls.
Yeah.
So that's the agenda for the show anyway. How are you, Nigel? Thanks for joining us, mate.
Yeah. I'm waiting for this global warming to kick in because it ain't turned up yet. All these eco warriors need to come and sit in Mars shed.
I turned the heating on about half an hour ago, mate. Up here, my little electric radiator.
It's because you're getting older, Nigel. You feel the cold more, isn't it?
That's what it is.
Yeah. I was ill this week. I was off work for a couple of days, and I went back to work on Friday for some strange reason. So
on a Friday,
you back to work on a Friday after being ill.
Perhaps it's because someone was going Brighton on Saturday.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh dear.
I don't know where the names have gone. It don't matter. Everyone knows who everyone is.
I'm getting already. I ain't even opened my mouth. Look.
What's that? You getting abuse? Who's abusing you?
Just the usual mugs.
Be nice, everyone. Nigel is the new Gary. He's a new Gary tonight.
Gary.
While Gary's entertaining Mickey Mouse in the US at the moment. He has gone to Disneyland, hasn't he? I've not spoken to him since he's gone over there.
He's gone to Disneyland, Harry Potter World, all that stuff in the Universal Studios.
Yeah. That's right. He's bought fast track passes because he can't. He's too posh to queue, isn't he?
He don't like queuing.
No, that's it. How are you, John? You all good?
Yeah, mate. I'm still quite. Obviously, I didn't come on yesterday. I was working, but I was watching it on the rank and that. It was just shocking, wasn't it? And I'm just bemused by it all, mate. And I ain't really got over it, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't get angry, but I get just confused by it all.
You would have got angry if you was at that game yesterday, like you did when you went to Spurs. It was fucking grim.
No doubt.
It was grim.
It was worse than Spurs, but
it was bad. But look, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just get straight into the game. I've given my thoughts on the game already. But I mean, if you do you want to take this one away, John? Do you want to have a little chat about the game? What your take on it yesterday?
I don't know what to say. I mean, there's no take to have on it apart from we were absolutely dog shit. I mean, you sent me that stat earlier about was it 69 passes?
69 passes, yes, a new record low for us.
69 passes in 90 minutes of football. I mean, and I'm sure some of them, because we know how the stats can be abused, if you know what I mean, when they say it's an assist when it ain't. I'm sure some of them passes were tackles that turned into passes.
More than likely.
I just don't know. I'll be honest with you. We've been talking, obviously, in our WhatsApp group, and Nigel, I've been saying it. I think it's one of the worst performances I can honestly remember, especially, in the last 10 years. It was just absolutely embarrassing. I mean, I don't know. It's just absolutely indefensible. There's no defence of that. Every player was poor. Every player could get the donkey's head tonight, probably apart from Ariana, because if weren't for Areola, it could have been a lot worse.
I've got loads of donkeys for tonight, mate.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
sure
worry.
you have. You've probably got a bloody sanctuary full of them. But honestly, mate, it was just the most abject, woeful, inept. It in some ways it made the Spurs performance look all right.
Yeah, it was far worse. It was far worse than that. It was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know, mate.
It was bad, mate. I mean, we'll talk about a few moments in the game in a minute, but I surprisingly bumped into Nigel Khan when I walked. I was walking towards the Brighton, walking towards the Amex, the turnstiles, and up pops Nigel, just waiting outside. I weren't expecting to see you there, mate.
No. That's I like to. I don't
Slippery.
need to broadcast
Slippery.
to people where I'm doing and where I'm going to be and what I'm up to. I don't feel the need to tell the world. So I was there. I'd had a ticket for ages. So no one's business where I am.
He's like a sacred squirrel, wasn't he, John?
Yeah, he pops up like a bad smell, doesn't he?
He does. But Nigel, come on, mate. We'll go into a little bit of detail on the game, but sum up the game with Well, give us your brief summary of what you thought overall of that game yesterday.
Well, before the game, I thought, after the game, I'll stick a quick video up on Twitter of my thoughts from the game, and I could only think of 2 words. So,
dog and shit.
Fucking shit.
Yeah,
actually, and that's what I tweeted the video out. What else can you say? If you thought Tottenham was as low as it got, then this actually went. I'll hold my coat. I think we can play worse. The problem is in typical West Ham fashion, and this where I sort of get a bit not a bit of delight or whatever, but it's one of them when you think, well, West Ham's still here, isn't it?
Yeah.
We get a good result. Fuck him off. Get a good result. Christ's sake. We get a good result against Forest.
Yeah.
And then for those of us that have sort of been cautious, I will say, it's a bit like, well, things are on the up. Because the last thing we want, I don't want to see a manager sacked, and I don't want us to see it at the bottom, and I don't want us to see us go down. We then go to Man United, and the result's bad in the end, but for 70 minutes...
Against their reserves.
Against their A- team.
Yeah.
And it took their 18 to beat us. And bearing in mind the way they were playing before today's result.
Yeah, I know that fucking hell. 7-0.
So it makes our performance, at least we're not the worst team this weekend.
Looking forward to playing Liverpool, though, aren't you?
Yeah, can't wait. So it gave you hope. And this is one of the things I say, the beauty of supporting West Ham is that you can go to that game and you could argue a case of why we'll win. Realistically, you think we should get a point, but deep down, we'll probably get beat. In my lifetime, I've looked it up. Yeah. So in my West Ham watching lifetime, we've played Brighton away 13 times and we've only beat them twice.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah.
Yeah. None of us were expecting to get a win in that game, Nigel. I don't think anyone was. But nobody. But there's losing, and then there's that.
Yeah.
We didn't even compete. We didn't even compete.
Well, that stat there, 69 passes in the whole game. The fact that in the second half, when they're kicking towards the fans, listen, it's going to get a bit fractious. But the fan base didn't really turn till we were 3-0 down. Yeah,
mate. No. That was on my end. It was basically after the at half time. Pete, they were already showing discontent once they saw Ben Rama for 4-0 because they were singing for Ben Rama.
Yeah,
and then the minute that second goal went in, he was getting pelters from my end, probably mainly from me. He was getting pelters from my end. No, he was like it was vocal. Moyes gets do something because the bloke just stood there with his hands in his pockets. He watched goal 2 go in, then he watched goal 3 go in, and you're like, what the fuck, Moyes? Do something. What are you doing?
Is, the Moyes out, the thing, you're getting sacked in the morning rather than more, you're getting sacked in the morning was sung once we'd gone 3-0 down. Because even at 2-0, there's probably a bit of belief. But Nick, how often did we see the ball in coming towards us?
No,
Never.
we didn't. We didn't.
You know when you walk out of there and you think the worst thing, not the worst thing about Brighton, when you're at the front, it's hard to really gauge what's going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might rely on the big screen. They don't show the game on the big screen at Brighton. So you're watching it and you can't really see because you're too close to the pitch. I can't believe I'm saying this. Too close to the pitch to actually see some of the movement on whatever.
Oh, so you miss your angle, your bird's eye view from the stadium.
So it's difficult to see what really is going on and how close they are and how close we are. But one thing I did know, we didn't see the ball up. We didn't get a corner. We didn't even attack in the second half.
We did nothing.
We did nothing. I'll tell you who else didn't see the ball. Danny fucking Ings.
Christ and I've seen him get some pelters, right? Now there were listen, that's what I'm saying to you. Listen, there was probably 2 occasions in the first half I can remember down the other end where when Areola, long kick, Souček, nod on to Danny Ings, who was tight up against fucking Lewis Dunk. What is he supposed to do in that situation?
Best shot was when he fired the ball into the Brighton crowd when it went out for a throw.
Yeah.
That was the best shot that he had when he actually pelted it into the crowd, hoping to try and knock one of their fans out.
Yeah,
if we go back to the beginning, it weren't a great start, and I'm not talking about the penalty. The one thing I noticed is there was an attack early on. Ben Johnson was like shadowing Mitoma.
He was bad. Johnson had his worst game, I think.
This set the tone because what he didn't do was watch the ball. Because if he'd have watched the ball, he could have cut the ball out.
What, the ball that came over the top?
No. This was before that. Before that. They played a ball behind Johnson, and he was just watching Mitoma. weren't looking at the ball.
Yeah,
it was like he was so fearful of Mitoma that he just lost any keep your eye on the ball. It was like basic schoolboy defending throughout the whole game. He wasn't looking. He just wasn't.
For as good as he was the other day, that's one of the worst fullback performances I've seen. That was bad.
I was talking to someone today, and for a bloke that's refusing to sign a new contract,
he looked shit. Let's be honest.
Thinking he might go and get a better club. I'll tell you what, mate. It's hard. Anyway, I felt a bit bad for him because the second goal, the corner, when you see that he's shocking. Standing there, but when you see it, there's no one round him. Now, if we're zonal marking, aren't we supposed to cover all the zones, not one?
Are you talking about the second goal, the set piece? That blew my mind, John. Honestly, you're a centre back. Explain to me how Veltman ended up in space on his own.
But you know what? As much as the defenders are culpable for that, of course they are. Wasn't Areola going? Someone get him? No one. Because I'm not just blaming Areola. The defence are obviously the defence are the ones to blame for that, right? I'm not saying that, but nobody. They're defending a corner. That to me proves that no one's aware of what's going on around them.
In zonal defending, I understand zonal defending when you're doing set pieces, but there's got to be flexibility in it. If you can see someone in it, you've got to identify that and go and pick them up.
But that's what I'm saying. There's a total lack of communication for that because that was the most basic goal you will ever see in your life.
Where does it go? The fun, not the funny, I shouldn't laugh, but when you think that
it was comical, Nigel, that was looking at that back
without conceding a goal.
Yeah.
And don't know how. That is one of the worst goals I've ever conceded in a corner. I mean, I look at Johnson and think you were just stationary. The bloke was standing there and moved onto the ball. You didn't react at all. But then I looked at it and thought, hold up a minute.
He wasn't.
Why is he the only player there? Why were there 6 defenders at the front post and no one in between there?
I know.
It was. And do you know, and this is the thing now, this comes from surely the set. I don't know whether to blame. It's everyone actually gets to blame. The players, I thought, showed a lack of desire and fight at 3-0 down.
Yeah.
The coach, the manager
showed a lack of fucking fight.
Showed a lack of I mean, I don't.
He was like,
the substitution. I don't get it. Do you know what? Before the game, I looked
Nigel,
at
please explain to me what Souček's got to do to get on. If he's gone 4-4-2 and you've got Bowen and Ings up there, why would you not? Because
Well,
at least
look.
then, if you bring Skamaka on, at least then you've got a target man you can pump the ball to and go direct.
Well, this is the thing. Before the game, Nick, I'm looking at it. We've only got 8. We've only got 8 substitutes for a start.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've only got 8.
Oh, because Heggie and Ang, he had 2 goalkeepers on there again, didn't
And
he?
he still had 2 goalkeepers.
Yeah.
That left 6 players of 5 he can bring on. Yeah. And Skamaka was probably sitting there going, bet I still don't get on.
Yeah. He's obviously, if Moyes stays, he's gone, isn't he?
I
can't think that Moyes is going to stay. But if he does end up staying, Skamaka's gone before we've even seen anything of him.
Well, you do. I mean, I'd be surprised if he left that early, but he's fell out with his agency, so you wonder what's going on there.
Well, he's probably like, what fucking club have you sent me to here?
I think the thing is, for me, I thought it was I was always unsure about it. I'll tell you why. Young Italians don't travel well for a start. Yeah. He's come over here. He probably needs his family around him. Italy's a very family-orientated country. And
he's travelled before, though, Nigel. He travelled to PSV when he was younger. I don't think he's a typical...
Yeah, but he didn't stay there, did he? He ended up back in Italy, Nick. And when he come over, I tell you what, the first images of him were walking around Westfield looking like little boy lost for something to eat. And you're thinking, oh, there's something... if they don't get hold of him and embed him into the club.
No, but this is the thing. I don't think that these... I don't know why. I just don't... I don't think he was ever a David Moyes signing, Skamaka. I don't think he ever was. Because he's
don't
basically
fit in the way Moyes plays.
No, he's Haller Mark II. He's the same player, same sort of attributes. And Haller's a great player. Skamaka's a great player. They're both great players in their own right, but they have to be played in the right way in the right system. Otherwise, they're fucking useless. Same as Danny. Look, Danny Ings he got 2 goals from nothing against Forest. I guarantee you now. Danny Ings will not score a goal against any top half team playing for West Ham in that position, because the way David Moyes sets up, that is what you're going to see. Danny Ings isolated, getting bullied by defenders. He will score fuck all. He'll score nothing.
But let me ask you the question, right? Why? Right, what did we revert to type, or were Brighton that good? Because what I'm saying is... We reverted
to type. He can't players behind the ball.
Okay, but why? But why has he gone... I know it was only Forest, right? I know it was only Forest, right? But why has he gone from being high press against Forest and being high press against Man United, where we should have won the game? We all said that, right? Why has he gone? Why did he go back to type yesterday? Why?
He admitted before the game in a press conference that we're not going to have much of the ball. Basically,
get the fucking ball.
This is what I'm saying to you. So that's what he's saying to his teams. That's how he's setting his team up. Look, listen, boys. You're not going to see much of the ball today. All you're going to be doing that there. So what I'm saying is, in that situation now, right? If that is the game plan, if the game plan is to be blocking, why even put Paqueta on the pitch? Put Downs in there. If all you're going to do is block...
remember, there was one time. I think there was one time, and it was in the second half because it was in front of us. There was one time we pressed, and their keeper gave the ball away.
Yeah.
And that was the only time we did it. And this is the bit where I don't get it, because I'm thinking, if you're going to press as a team, you've all got to press.
But you have to press as a team, and we weren't doing that in that game
constantly.
Yeah, we weren't doing that. We pressing. It was like a half press.
Yeah, I don't. Listen, we can all go, oh, it's on him, oh, it's on them. We don't know, do we? We don't know.
We do know, Nigel. We know that was basically. We know that David Moyes set that team up. Ignore the team and the selection that he put on the graphic. We know he prepared that team to play a game without the ball and to block Brighton. That was the game. And it wasn't because David Moyes plays one of 2 ways. We've seen him play a pressing game in the first 70 minutes against Man United, and we saw him play a pressing game against Nottingham Forest. Completely different. We're closing them down all over the field. We're throttling the players. It's brilliant. And then the other thing that David Moyes does when he's scared, he plays traffic cones. He plays set formations. Try and play through us. We'll play deep. We'll be organised, disciplined. And that was what we tried. That's what we tried to do against Brighton.
Criticised switching to 4-4. I must admit, I didn't notice we'd switched to 4-4.
He did, mate. It was bad. It was really bad.
But
actually.
In the first half, I'll tell you what I did notice because he was playing a 4-3-3. So our only width was Emerson and Johnson. Johnson, as I said, was too busy with Mitoma and scared of letting him go behind him to ever get forward and support. In that first half, we had no real width at all.
No.
And if you look, we had 2 chances, which was the Bowen chance and Souček chance. I don't know if that was a Souček shot. Souček had a shot. I don't know if it was on target or if it was a cross. Or whatever.
I can't even remember it.
But nothing came from the width.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No. But it was. Look, listen. It was. I don't think we was ever. I don't think David Moyes ever believed that he could get a win there. I think we saw in the second half with the changes that he made when he took Benny off for Fornals, and he never made any changes beyond that. It was all about damage limitation for David Moyes, trying to make it so that it wasn't 4-0. He failed because David Moyes prides himself on not getting beat too heavily. He's okay getting beat if he can come out in the press conference afterwards and go, "Oh, we was unlucky. We had a few chances. It ain't that bad." You know, a lot of teams are going to come to Brighton and get beat, but 4-0 and a complete whitewash. And you know what the bad thing is, Nigel? I'm sure that you will agree with this as well. And you, John, you watch the game, right? I don't even think that Brighton were playing at full pelt. I think that was almost like watching Brighton play their reserves.
No,
I think they could have even gone harder.
I think they were playing at full pelt, mate, because that could have been 7 or 8. So I think they were playing at full pelt.
No.
But the difference is, mate, their coach has got them coached very well, and they make it look so easily. They make it look so easy. Let's not forget. I think they got 3 games in hand over Spurs. I think, or something ridiculous.
So, yeah,
2 games. You know, if they win them and results go their way, they could be in 4th position. So they're no mugs, right?
But if you notice that when they play a triangle, they're playing a triangle going forward. Our fucking triangles are backwards, aren't they? We go backwards towards our goal.
Reverted triangle.
I did think walk into the game. We all know what our record is in the Premier League against Brighton.
Yeah.
And even like walking up the stadium, you think, how has a club like West Ham ended up with a record? And bearing in mind, this is a record where 4 out of the 6 seasons, Brighton have been fighting relegation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've still not beat them. The nearest we got to a win was we were 3-1 up at home, I think, just before lockdown, and we ended up drawing 3-3. You know, and we used to laugh that Glenn Murray always scored against us. Well, he ain't been there. And yet we're still losing. We still can't beat them in the Premier League. And what has Brighton done in that 6 years?
They've recruited. They've recruited. I'll tell you what they've done. They've recruited.
Top, isn't it?
But yeah, it is the people at the top. But what they do is they recruit good managers. We was having a thing on WhatsApp the other day. Earlier on, and we was talking about the amount of money. Well, basically, managers that Sullivan would bring in, and we've all heard, you know, they're not going to bring anyone in because it's going to be costly. They don't see value. They'll go out and spunk 180 million on players, but they don't see value in spending big on a manager. They just don't see it. You know, that's a waste of money. You know what? Why would you spend a lot of money on a manager
the thing
for?
People forget about. I see this slung at Moyes, 180 million. He spent 180 million, but let's face it, he signed 9 players.
I know, but he spent.
No. What I'm saying,
but he spent 300 million in 3 years.
But what I'm saying is people use this as a brick thing. He spent 180 million. We shouldn't be in this print. No, he bought 9 players. That's on average 20 million a player.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You fuck all. We've had 2 big buys.
But there is no. We can't. But we can't use. What was your stat earlier on, John, with Brighton? How much?
So I looked up the Brighton starting 11. And the Brighton starting 11 cost them around £58 million. £20 million of that was on that Webster, the centre back they bought from Bristol City.
Yeah.
So £58 million on the 11 players that played us off the park.
Yeah,
so
and what they do is,
what I'm trying to say is, it ain't about money. It's how you spend it.
It's how you spend. But it's how you spend it. But Moyes is also culpable for this, Nige. He's been spending money like a fucking drunken sailor, and he doesn't. He improves very few fucking players. In fact, I can't think of any players he's improved. right? So you look at Brighton, they've gone out, they've spent 60 million on that team. They look like world beaters now. David Moyes could go out and spend 500 million. That would look like 50 million in 2 years' time, because he doesn't develop players, he doesn't coach players, he doesn't. I mean, what we saw, that Brighton team there, I said this the other day, I don't think they possess a single player. When you look at it player for player, even if you look at
paper.
No, but I'm saying Casiedo and McAllister, you know, we've got Declan Rice, you know, we've got Paqueta in the middle. I don't think you could pull any of those players out of that Brighton team and they would look nothing like what they are playing for Brighton. They would look shit playing for us. That's what I think. They play that way because they are coached brilliantly in a great way. That is not about individuals. That team. That is about a collective. No. That's what that's what that is. We've just gone out and we've just scattergunned, but because that's what David Moyes relies on. David Moyes relies on camping loads of bodies behind the ball and a bit of individual brilliance to win him games or a shithouse goal. That's the David Moyes plan.
But also what it proves is because there was the big fear when they lost Potter that things would slowly go downhill. But the new guy's come in. He's picked it up, and he's probably made them even better.
I think much better.
So what I'm saying to you is they must have already highlighted what's his name, Deservey.
Yes.
Yeah.
They must have highlighted him quite early on to know that if and when Potter went, he would be the apt replacement. Because
I think they got a bit lucky. I'm not saying they got a bit lucky. No, hold up. Yeah, what you got to remember is, where did Deservey come from? He come from Shakhtar Donetsk, whose league has been shut down and everything, So I don't, I'm only.
He was a Sassuolo manager.
But he'd already left Sassuolo. He'd gone to Shakhtar Donetsk, but what he'd done at Shakhtar Donetsk is actually won a cup there, and he was top of the table when the Russians invaded and shut the league down.
Yeah.
So he then left the club. Obviously, because there was no football going on. They've sort of restarted. But Donetsk region, we all know, is controlled by the Russians now anyway.
Yeah.
So I think the whole league's being played in Poland, funnily enough. So, it was one of them, right, he's got a chance. But the funny thing is, you think back, what if we'd have sacked Moyes and appointed him? What would have been the reaction? The initial reaction? Because we'd have gone, who the fucking hell's this guy?
Yeah, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I think West
We'd
Ham
never do that. West Ham would never appoint a manager. This ownership will never appoint a manager.
Exactly that. I was just going to say that to you, mate. We will always get managers who are trying to reprove themselves, rebuild careers, whatever it is you want to say. You're never going to get someone to come in on a 6-month thing like Moyes did. We're never going to go left field because the board don't have the balls. It's almost like it's a case of, better the devil you know, and it's not getting us anywhere because, they've been in charge how long now? You're going, when they took over, I can't think. And really, what have we done in that time? Brighton have been owned by this guy for next to no time in comparison, and they're already
he's owned Brighton, I think, for as long as Golden Sullivan have probably been at West Ham.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, just quickly in the chat, it's only a handful of people. But before it even gets going, be respectful, please. We're not. If we see anything anything that's not right, then I will block people. Nigel's done us a favour coming on to help us tonight. No, he has. It's only no. It's just a couple of people.
Look, it's the same two. Every time I'm here, Nick, honestly, they can say what they like, mate.
No, but it's not.
Look, I've got that wrong about that Brighton owner, but I'd only started hearing about him recently. Maybe it's because they're doing well.
No, but I'm saying it's not right. What we don't like, and the good thing is, me and Nigel, that's the good thing about the show. We rarely agree, but this ain't a fucking echo chamber. We want different opinions on here. So please don't try, from the other side, don't try and shut people down. All right? Let people have their say. I'll shut. No, but it's fair, though. Fair's fair.
He's like the Prime Minister, isn't he?
Yes. I'll shut Nigel down in a minute.
I love it when you put yourself in charge.
I know he's looking forward to this. He's just waiting. You're just waiting for that day where I just go nuclear Moyes out. And fucking hell.
You are Moyes out already. You know you are. You don't want him to be here. You just don't like the idea of a manager being sacked, which I understand. But Yeah, I mean, if
I think
Nigel, if Moyes got sacked, tomorrow, would you be upset?
No, I wouldn't.
Exactly.
But you know that because I've said that for ages.
No, but I think Nigel's of the mindset of he don't want a manager to get sacked because if a manager's getting sacked, it means the team are doing shit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand. If we're struggling, the manager gets sacked. So it's
people get confused because when I go, oh, I don't care about playing in the Championship. People think, which is true, and people that know me, they actually don't care. You know, I don't care about being in the Premier League.
See that from Billericay Dicky, Nick trying to come over all masterful. I'm getting the piss taken out of me now.
That's right. Good. It's piling on Nick. He can handle it. If we win and I think this does muddy the water. I think Europe muddies the water, and I'll tell you why. And this is, the Hammers 89 and Eastside can all pop up again now when I say this. Yeah, is that as David Moyes earned the right to win us that European trophy?
No.
Hold up. Let me say it because at the end of the day, you want to slag Moyes up for this season. Fully appreciate because at the end of the day, the performances and the team he picks and the way we play is 75% on him, 25% on the players for me. Therefore, though, the 2 seasons where he got us into Europe and has achieved this position, is that also on him? So has he not earned the right to continue?
No. So, I don't think so.
Trophy.
No, he hasn't. No, he absolutely has not. He's earned the right to be fucking sacked. That's what he's earned the right. That's what he's earned the right for. Listen, if he goes and wins it, then fine. But what if he goes and wins it as a result of us getting relegated? Absolutely. I've got no fucking interest. If we get relegated and we win that cup will be meaningless to me. It'll be meaningless to me.
Well, I see that.
No, it will be. Nigel, if we get relegated,
I'll tell you what, Nick.
Who are we beating? Nigel, who the fuck are we beating to win that cup?
Look, you enter a competition. Yeah, you want to win it. If you win it, I'll tell you what, Nick. They won't put up on that honours board avoided relegation 2023. They'll
this is
on there.
This is a good point. This is a good point. This is a good point for me,
Dave. Trophy, mate.
Listen. On what you two are talking about from I can't find it now. E. Davis, and this is a good point, Nigel. A little trophy versus the complete dismantling of West Ham.
Exactly. Nigel, it is true. Nigel, let me tell you how bad this is, right? And I've heard you say this. In the space of 4 games, we've seen West Ham play their worst ever game in your memory, certainly in my memory, against Spurs. Have you ever seen us play worse against Spurs?
No.
With less effort. And that Brighton game there, that is one of, I know you'll say you've seen worse, but that's certainly one of the worst, if not the worst, in my memory. Right now, you might say, whatever. Then what?
It probably gets in my top 10.
But I reckon that's the worst in the last 10 years.
You're probably not far off. Yeah.
It's the worst in the last 10 years. Now, that's in the last 4 games when we are... and they're league games. And that's why we're loitering in the bottom 3 fighting for fucking safety.
You're not in the bottom 3.
Yeah, no, we're loitering around the bottom 3, Nige. But you know what I mean? But then you've got...
9, some of 8 other teams.
Yes, but then you saw the likes of Bournemouth and Everton. Not Bournemouth. The Everton game earlier on. Everton and Southampton, wasn't it? Forest. Everton and Forest. You saw that game earlier on. You saw that game earlier on where that was a proper relegation battle. I don't think you saw Bournemouth yesterday go 2-0 up against Arsenal fighting, and then you see us, and then you think we've got Thursday, Sunday football as well. Yes, there's 8 or 9 other teams in there, Nigel, but there are not 8 or 9 other teams that are playing worse than West Ham. There's not.
No,
there's not.
I'll tell you how many teams there are playing worse than West Ham.
None.
2.
Not playing worse. Not playing worse.
Well, Southampton won as well, didn't they, yesterday?
Well, yeah, but hold up. Did they win last week? And this is the thing. When you look at it, yeah. So last week we beat Forest 4-0. Who saw this performance coming after Wednesday night? No one, right? So therefore, what I do, and this may be fence sitting or whatever. This ain't me defending Moyes. This is what I'm saying. If we're capable of doing Forest and playing like that against Man United, then their players are capable.
Nigel,
professional pride in the players to go out against Villa.
Nigel, tell me a team in the top 4 divisions that have got a worse away record than Nottingham Forest.
Well, I can't, can I? Because
West
they are
Ham.
the worst.
West
No,
Ham
we got
worst
a better
away.
away record.
No, we've got a
have.
better away record.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest have the worst away record in
In
all
the
of the
92.
in all of the 92. All
Even
of them.
worse than us.
Yes.
Worse than everyone away. Worse than everyone away. Nottingham Forest
Hang
have.
on, we've only picked up 3 points.
Yeah,
away from home,
they've
haven't
been
No, we've
they've
got
been
6 to put away from home.
they've been properly dog shit. And then
And
like I
they've only scored. Well, they were at home today, so they've still only scored 3 goals.
Can I be honest, right? I'm guilty of getting excited about that because I thought, yeah, okay, we was we got the win. That was a brilliant last 20 minutes. But that was the first 70 minutes were average. Most of us on 65 minutes thought. Most of us thought, oh, here we go again. Do you know what changed that game? Their fucking manager taking off Shelvey for IU. That is what changed that game. That's what changed the game. They played into our hands.
Yeah, I exactly said that. It was 0-0, and they took him off. People laughingly were going, "Oh, it was the Areola substitution." I turned around and said last week, "No, it wasn't. It was the bleeding Shelby substitution."
Listen, we were all. Maybe he's pulled the wool over all of our eyes. That performance against Forest and the game against Man United. But I think Nigel's right to some extent, Nick. I mean, the manager is the main man, right? 80% is down to him, and I've said since the Palace game he needs to go, right? But it is a little bit of me where the players have to take some responsibility.
Oh, yeah. They were shit, John. They were shit.
I know. But I tell you the one thing I didn't mind yesterday was the bookings we got because the players just had a fucking enough and just kicking lumps out of them. And I know that ain't football. And I know it don't change
I enjoyed Declan Rice's tackle.
Yes, because it shows, because you can say what you want about him. And I know, listen, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but some of the things he said in the post-match interview I don't agree with, right? But at least picking up that booking showed he gave his shit because he was livid.
Things. Right, okay. Well, let's wrap up that talk of that shit game anyway. So we all agree that was awful. We know it was. It was shit. It could not have been any worse. I mean, do you know something? 4-0 flattered us. It flattered us in the
that
end.
Fifth goal could have gone in. I mean, Areola. I don't know if he saved his donkey's head or not. We'll see. I mean, that was a great save.
No. He was our best player, Nigel.
Oh no,
he actually was. Nigel. He was. He was our best player. I know. Look, listen. This ain't Areola Fabianski. He was the only one that did anything.
No, mate. I'd say
he was the only one.
Emerson was our best player. Honestly.
All right. Well, that's fine. We'll talk about that in a minute. But listen. Let's move on to the next question before we go into the player ratings and fucking get some donkeys out. And what we're let's talk about the post-match comments from David Moyes. So Nigel, what did David Moyes say when he came out after the game? Do you remember about the fans?
I've had them.
What did he say about the support? People like us travelling up there.
I tell you, he's getting on my nerves now. Yeah, because the thing about him is, and this is what the thing people go, whatever way, wherever he is really losing me, is I can put, I've seen as many defeats as whatever, But when he walks into what he says after a game, and when he turns around and says, the fans, they've got every right to be disappointed with that performance. Yep. But I hope they arc back to remember when we finished 6th and 7th.
6th and 7th, and the European semi-final.
For fuck's sake, Dave, I'm sorry. Yep. You can't keep saying that every week. You have to acknowledge the position you're in.
Yeah.
You've done well to last to the Brighton game before the fans actually sung you're getting sacked in the morning.
What about good fans support teams in the bad time as well as the good times, which is basically what he said.
You're trying to get me to say something.
No, it's what he said. I'm not.
I know, but that I have said the same things at times where actually, you need to be able to. But what Moyes is confusing is fans supporting the players, or the team, but then still looking at the manager because I think the manager should actually, if he was a proper manager, will be out there taking it for his players, saying to the fans, blame it all on me, give me the stick, exactly. I'll take it to keep it off the players, and he ain't saying
he's not a strong enough character. John said this the other day. A manager's job is there predominantly to protect their players.
Yes.
If you look at the old school managers, we use Ferguson and Wenger. as an example. And the fact is that man, the way he comes out, I think it's cowardly the way he throws. Even Aguero, who's been largely great for us since he's come back from injury, he had a fucking nightmare, didn't he? Against Man United in that last 20 minutes.
Said it.
But then he came out and he said that why does he feel the need to throw
Why is the need exactly?
the players, right, and then the fans? It's like he's even trying to use the fans' bad support as a reason why.
I think what he's doing now, when he blames the players and now blaming the fans, it's a complete deflection tactic. He's trying to buy his own credit. He's trying to regenerate credit by keep going on about the 2 years in Europe. Look, he did well for us, but he can't keep harping on about it. No. You know, he's an old school manager, but he doesn't have old school morals of protecting his own players, and that's what baffles me. Because Ferguson, Wenger, all those guys, they did it till the cows come home, and he's got. To me, it's almost like he just wants to take all the glory. He wants to take the glory when times are good. Yeah. When things are down, it's like he's trying to pass the buck on to everybody else.
I won't knock him. Look, he didn't. At the end, those that were there, you were still there at the end, Nick, was you? I don't know.
Yeah, 85 minutes I left.
Oh, right. Well, I was all the way to the full 90-odd minutes.
Yeah.
And for me, I want to stare the players in the face and to see who comes over, who's got the fucking bollocks. Because
I saw that post,
you know what you're going to get. Moyes straight down the tunnel. Yeah. But to be fair, that was probably the best thing.
Probably the right thing for him to do.
Because it would have, I think, actually, if he'd have come over clapping, I think even I might have given him a volley.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna read a post out from Stephen Mantle on the from the Facebook group, and this was his little post after the game. He says, "Yet another horrendous away display, yet another cowardly, pathetic, predictable game plan from Moyes, which defies logic." Sticking 10 men behind the ball, inviting pressure onto a creaky backline with zero pace to break up the other end. One away win in 18 in the league, 18, and that was a fluky deflected winner at the time against a woeful Aston Villa side, who coincidentally have soared up the league since disposing of their very own inept manager. It's absolutely astounding that he's had the bare-faced temerity to criticise the supporters travelling across the country to watch that fucking dribble time after time. I think they've been remarkably patient to not snap before today. I think that's right, though, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Can't really argue with it.
You can't really argue. I'm sure. The fact is, if if you look at, people like Dodsey, there's about, there's probably like 1,000 Dodseys out there that are going to every game, spending their money going every game.
Yeah.
And to have a hardcore support base like that turn up when you've only won one game and drawed 3 away from home.
Yeah.
I mean, my mate who I went with only goes away games. Yeah, with his boy. And he laughed. He said, "When was the last time you see an away win?" And I went, "Well, you've been more away games than me this season. And you missed the one where they won."
I know. Right, what we do, we move on to Declan Rice now. But what I'm going to ask you both to give a rating from 1 to 10. 1 being wanker, 10 being amazing. From 1 to 10, give Moyes a rating for his post-match comments, Nigel.
He's just trying to get you to knock him, isn't he? He's just trying to.
No, seriously. Based on what he said, for his post-match comments. 1. There you go, John.
Yeah, same.
He's a 1. Okay, all right, that's fine. He's a wanker. That's what I thought, Nigel. He is. Right, moving on to Declan Rice. John, who is look, I love Declan Rice as well, but John's a lot more forgiving than me with some of the stuff that Declan Rice says. What he did say wasn't taken out of context. I know that emotions are running high. I can understand why he was frustrated. I can understand why, because I think we all heard he came out and kind of criticised Moyes after Spurs. You can only imagine that he was probably chastised after that. Well, this time he hasn't. He's come out in defence of Moyes. He didn't look happy about it, but he did, and he's hung himself out to dry with what he said by saying I don't listen to the noise, it's just noise. And no, listen, it's just noise. And you know what? If they were experts, they'd be on the pitch, wouldn't they?
Can I say one thing before you start? All right,
No, this is for you. This is for you.
All right, but before you hone in on that part of it, he did before he even got to that stage. He came out and apologised to the fans. He criticised the performance of himself and the rest of the team first and foremost, right? So he did apologise to the fans, right? He was, when pushed, he looked very uncomfortable in his defence of Moyes, right? He sort of had a nod. He did. He had a bit of a nod. He had a little bit of a nod as if, I don't know, his body language to me looked like, to some extent, some of the things he was saying were because he has to say it because he's the captain. Right? There's an element of what he can and can't say and how he can say things, no matter how much as fans we want him to come out and say, Moyes, he's shit, he's tactically inept. When he's captain of the club, and when you play for the club, you never hear of a captain doing that. They won't ever come out and do that, right? But what I won't excuse is, yes, if he's referring to the noise being the fans and not pundits or whatever else, if he is referring to the noise that he's talking about being fans, then I cannot defend that. Of course I can't. Because we are the paying public. And I say this all the time. I hate when players don't play for the club because they don't like the manager. We are the paying public. As much as we have a right to applaud a performance and applaud players for performances, we also, within reason, have a right to criticise performances. And that's all it is.
But to say that, you're right. To say that, if they were experts, they would be on the pitch. Is not only insulting; it's inaccurate as well. Because
hold up, Nick.
No.
Who's he insulting?
He's insulting people that have got an opinion that he don't like.
What,
Because what I'm saying is you've got
Roy Keane. I didn't think of that, Nigel.
Yeah, because
I think it's
because if it was Roy Keane, and he would be then Roy Keane, by his logic, would be an expert because he's played football. He was saying people that haven't played the game, they're not experts. So the fact that
people that hadn't played the game.
Yes, he did. He said if they were on the pitch, then they'd be the experts.
He didn't say people that hadn't played the game.
Oh, come on, Nigel! It's ridiculous.
You're
honestly.
The one putting words in his mouth.
I'm not putting words in his mouth. His words were. There's a lot of experts out there, but they're not on the pitch, are they? So they're not experts.
Do you know what?
So basically, if you're not involved in the game, but my argument is with these pundits. I mean, you've seen it yourself. These ex-fucking players, right? There's a lot of idiots out there. You listen to Jamie O'Hara. He's played football. Is he an expert? Is Jamie O'Hara an expert on football?
No, he's a dwarf.
I would argue he's not an expert on Spurs.
Is Gabby Agbonlahor an expert on football?
I can't understand what he says. He's like Black Country Hammer.
This is what I'm saying to you. There's a lot of fucking idiots in football. There are, and to kind of talk like that about the fans. Now, look, listen, I'm not hanging Rice out to dry because I think personally, as John said, I think he was uncomfortable. I think he only said that when pushed. But he said it, it was a wrong thing to say.
He's captain of a team that is bloody struggling. Yeah. Looks like going down. We all know he wants out. I think he does love the club. Yeah, I think he's proud to be captain. He don't want this on his shift.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also, we never heard. This is a Premier League thing, and it's only a recent Premier League thing in the last 20 years, where the managers and the captains or whoever has to stand now after a win or a defeat and give their instant reaction. Yeah. You were lucky after a win to hear Billy Bonds come and give anything or whatever. So this. And when you caught up, and they've just been through an emotional game at the end of the day, where they will know how shit they were. They came over, and you were seeing it, and they were all holding, or a lot of them were ones that I see, even Declan were holding their hands up. Emerson was the first one over. He didn't fuck about. And he was walking over, holding his hands up, going, I'm sorry. Yeah? And a load of them done it. Souček done it and everything. They know themselves.
And the thing is, right, that game as well, that game, especially Declan Rice, they will have known, they will have been so embarrassed by that performance. They will have been so embarrassed to have been a part of that fucking team that played Brighton. there.
Yeah.
It was shocking. It was. And this is
Now,
what I'm saying to you.
you
But
gotta look
did you see? I've seen from loads of people now. I've heard that I didn't see it directly. But apparently Nolan went up to David Moyes at 3-0. He went up to David Moyes at 3-0 with his little iPad, and he was
Probably
talking to him.
something.
This was about bringing players on.
Candy Crush.
Yeah, no, but apparently they had a visible spat, and Nolan threw his fucking iPad down.
Oh,
and walked off in it. And walked off.
Trying to change the time forward another 20 minutes to get extra lives.
No. But what I'm saying is, Nigel, could you imagine you're part of that backroom staff, right? So it's just imagine you're Nolan, right? You're sitting there. It's gone 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. You've got Skamaka sitting next to you on the bench. Are you going to say something to Moyes? Are you going to say, look, Moyes, seriously,
you've got to
mate?
look at your relationship, haven't you? I mean, at the end of the day, you would like to think that when you're a coaching team like that you're a team. Now, I look at that coaching team. I don't think they're a team. I think the way Moyes lords it, and
he don't listen to anyone. He don't listen to anyone.
No, and I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
I think that is part of the problem. You look at some of the best managers; they worked as a team with their coaches.
Yeah,
I think Ferguson was a different kettle of a fish, to be fair. But Ferguson took a lot of notice from his number twos and whatever. So, but some of the best managers that they have their number twos with them. Who
do we think? Yeah. Who do we think does the coaching at West Ham now? Then, without Irving, without Pearce,
Warburton.
I mean, because I don't think what's his name, Nevin. Does he? I mean, I don't think he does the coaching, does he?
Yeah, well, I think he does. He does the tactics, by because we play the same way as fucking Southgate for England, don't we? Which is
well, look,
boring
this
and
is
dull.
what I saw. I don't know. They have their warm up before the game, don't they? And they have this young-looking geezer. I don't know who he is. He must be like a fitness coach or something. And they do their little doggy sprints and all this, that. And you got Billy McKinley. You had Kevin Nolan. And you had that Nevin standing in different places with their hands in their pockets, just watching them and then giving it all the round of applause after. And I'm thinking, well done, lads. You managed to sprint before the game.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I get it with it's all fitness now and whatever. But
but
at the end of the day, I think we've now got to a position where next season, I think no matter what happens,
Moyes is gone.
He's gone. Go.
Yeah. He's gone. Yeah, 100%. I'm with you on that.
We've got to go forward.
My only worry now is after the Nottingham Forest game, because I've been heavily Moyes out since Game 5 of the season.
Yes.
But I kind of it broke my will. No, but my will was broken after them not getting rid of him before the World Cup, then them not getting rid of him before the January transfer window, and then them not getting rid of him again when results still didn't improve. And it got to about, we beat Forest, and I'm like, do you know what? There's no season left. The league is shot. We can't do anything in the league now. What would I rather? Would I rather a disaster recovery manager come in on a 3.5-year deal, or
not a disaster recovery manager on a 3.5 year?
No. But that's what the rumours are that's what they'd have to offer someone like Rafa, 3.5 years.
Yeah, but I don't know if you want to go down the road.
No, we will do. We're going to do that next, though. We're going to do that. We're going to do that section next.
Because that list, mate.
Yeah, no, I know. But the thing is, So my thinking was, at that point, we beat Forest. I kind of got, in retrospect, I was stupid because that just papered over the cracks, that result. But I thought maybe he can keep us safe. But now, we got 14 games left, something like that. Is it 14 we've got left? It is, isn't it? Or 13? 13 games left. 25 games gone. 13 games left. 7 of the games that we've got left are teams in the top half. So and we've got to get some wins. I don't know where the wins are going to come from.
Southampton.
Southampton they beat Leicester. There's no guarantees, mate. There's no guarantees.
How much did you watch Match of the Day?
Eh?
Did you?
No, I've watched Match. I've watched Match of the Day once.
Did you see Southampton Leicester game?
Yeah, they were lucky.
Yeah, they were lucky. They were,
So don't say, they won. Yeah, they won. They were fucking.
I know.
Do you know what though? I watched Match of the Day this morning, right? And I still cannot get my head around. There's not one pundit that I've heard yet that says Moyes should go. Gary Lineker, Ian Wright, and Danny Murphy yesterday or this morning when I watched it.
Media
all
conspiracy,
said,
John. Media conspiracy.
Yeah, no. I'll tell you what, it is a media conspiracy. Nigel, I said on my show
Ian
yesterday.
Wright?
No, listen very quickly, Nigel. No, but Nigel. No, but very quick. You heard it. I phoned up Talksport, right? I thought I need someone to talk to, so I phoned up Talksport yesterday on my way home in the car, and I fucking phoned up Talksport, and I've gone, yes, hello, yeah, this is Nick. I said I want to talk about West Ham, and they've gone, all right, what do you want to talk about? I said, well, David Moyes. Are you Moyes in or Moyes out? I said, Moyes out. He said, well, we'll phone you back. Put the phone down on me. That was it.
They had enough callers, Nick.
That is the thing, though, is that why should that be a question they asked first?
What do you mean? I know.
Well, I don't get why they've asked you that question first. Nick, you're a West Ham fan. You want to talk about the game. That's all they need to put. That's all they need to tell the people. They don't need to know if you're Moyes in or Moyes out. The idea is that you get onto the show and you tell people what you think. So therefore, it does make you wonder.
It does.
They were having their quota.
I know. Right, very quickly because we've had people want to get onto the Donkey Fest.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with John because Nigel's just going to be horrible about Areola. So I'm going to give John.
No, I'm not actually. I'm going to give everyone.
I'm going to give John Areola. Go on, John.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, I know he let in 4 goals. But none of them were his fault. And he did make a good save. He did make a good save and took one of them onto the bar. Without him, look, Nigel, mate, he could have been 6 or 7, right? I think he's probably, in my opinion, he's probably the only player who's deserving of not getting a donkey, if I'm honest. So I'm going to give him a 5. I'm going to give him a 5 because I'll give him. You know what? I'm going to give him a 6 because as a keeper. No, listen. I'm going to give him a 6 because
he commanded his box.
What?
I said, yeah, he really commanded his box.
Yeah, but Nigel, the only thing I'd say is you need your defenders in front to give you half a chance.
Mate,
so I'm going to give him a 6.
Right, listen, everyone. I'm explaining the graphic. I know Soufal won't play. I know it was Emerson. I know we ain't got Vlasic no more. Vlasic is Danny Ings. Soufal was Emerson. All right, so bear with me because I've got to update the graphics. I know 2 props on the screen.
It's like cryptic clues.
2 props on the screen. So Vladimir Soufal, aka Emerson, Nigel.
Well, I'm going to give him a 6 then, because I thought he was our best. I thought he was the best player in a West Ham shirt.
Yeah,
and if he's giving Areola a 6, I'm going to match it.
No, you can't change your judging because I'll judge someone.
No. Base it on your base it on your.
If I think Emerson was the best player in a West Ham shirt, then. I think you've overscored someone.
Well, no. You've got to do it on your own. But Nigel, don't. What we're saying is, so you're saying he had an average game. He wasn't below average. He had an average game.
Yeah. I thought Solly March ruined him.
He had him on toast. Yeah, he did.
I think Nigel. Can I just interject?
Perhaps if only Oda was scored lower, then I might give him.
Yeah, I'll tell you why, Nick. You know the reason why Nigel was giving him a 6, didn't you? Because he was the first one over to clap the fans. Telling you.
That's all it is, yeah. That's all it is. To be fair, he deserves a little markup for that. That's
4
fine.
bonus points for that.
Right, I'm going to go Ogbonna. Do you know what? I think the defence, Johnson aside, well, Aguero and Johnson were both shit. I don't think Ogbonna was as bad. I wouldn't even say that Ogbonna was below average. I probably would just say he had an average game, and he got injured as well, and he got pulled off. I wouldn't say Ogbonna was.
Got what?
He got injured, didn't he? He got pulled off. Yeah, he got pulled off. Yeah,
pulled off.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he was terrible. So yeah, my main problem wasn't really with this side of the defence. So I'm gonna give him a 6. I know they're high at the minute, and people are desperate for donkeys. Look, people are desperate for donkeys.
Hang on. The donkeys.
I know. Right. Okay, John. Give it to Naif Aguirre and Utilo Kera.
Yeah. Well, he didn't really. I mean, he wasn't like Johnson, was it? Yeah. I mean, he didn't. I thought he'd maybe come back a little bit better after the Man United performance, but. I'm going to say a 4. I just thought he was poor.
He was bad.
Like you say, I don't think he was helped by Johnson having an absolute nightmare in each side, but I'm going to give Aguerd a 4. And I do apologise to anyone in the...
You better apologise to east side now, mate. That's it. Fucking hell. The half of east side, mate, will be...
hang on, east side scored him. What did east side... I think east side's quite fair, though.
He gave him a 5. He gave him a 5.
He gave him a 5. I'm going to give him a 4, sorry.
But he might be basing that on the fact I've given Ogbonna a 6. You know, he might be hitting back for that. But no.
Well, if Nigel's give
terrible.
Emerson a 6 and I'll give Ariel a 6, that means I'm going to give Aguerd...
Right. John's right. I'm gonna give Nigel the worst player on the fucking pitch. Go in, Nigel. Let us know what you thought of Ben Johnson.
Honestly, up close.
Give him a 6.
I've watched him. Yeah, up close. Yeah, he's lucky to get a 1 off me.
Yeah, he was. He was bad. He was bad. He was. Is that his worst performance in a West Ham shirt?
Undoubtedly.
What did you say before we come live, Nigel? About the contract thing.
Well, if he's a bloke who's rejecting a contract because he thinks he's going to get a better offer for somewhere else, well, not off the back of that game. If I was Johnson, I'd be knocking on the club's door going, "Can I sign my contract now, please?" because we may be thinking, "Oh, actually, we don't want to enforce next year's."
Yeah. Right. Okay. John, our Brazilian maestro, playing as a defensive blocker yesterday. How did you think he did, Paqueta? Lucas Paqueta in the middle.
As a defensive blocker, wasn't he? It was brilliant. It's obviously what we bought him for. I don't know. Look, you have to judge him how they played, and we know he's not built for that position.
He was shit.
He was shit, wasn't he? So for me, it's another donkey. I'm giving out 2 donkeys already.
I know.
It's a donkey. It's a donkey.
Right, I'm gonna I'll take Souček, right? Now this bloke, honestly, I made a comment. Yes, I made a comment to my son at the game yesterday because it didn't matter where the ball was, predominantly in Brighton's possession. Souček was always there. He's always with the ball. He tracks the ball. He's like having a second referee on the pitch. I said that. He's just there. He's always there, but he's like he'd be a great ref. He keeps up the play. He's up and down the pitch. Does fuck all. Don't touch it. It was 69 passes. I reckon you're lucky if he got one of them. He was shit. And the one pass I do remember him making in that first half, do you remember it? It was so bad. He only had to make a 6-yard pass and he shanked it. He shanked it. He was so shit. He was terrible. So what
was that
Moyes...
Souček that did that? I do remember that one went out for a phone. You're thinking, what's up, fucking there?
It was Souček. Fuck me. He wasn't even pressured at that point. He just thought, oh shit, I'm playing Brighton. I better get rid of the ball. Moyes has told us. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give him a 2. I'm sorry. He was fucking rubbish.
I think you're being harsh. He did have some tacking to attend. He should have had a 3 at least.
He was shit, mate. He was terrible. I can't understand footballers that can't kick the ball. That's what I don't get. It's football, you know. That's what I don't get. Right, Nigel, you can have our captain, Declan Rice. His performance. Don't use his post-match comments to affect his rating.
No, I wouldn't.
I think his performance was bad enough.
I'd never do that because I'll. Yeah, fuck it. 4.
Yeah, he was bad.
You know what? Though, I got to say, sorry, Nigel, before you go on, I got to say that Caicedo, he was immense.
Outstanding.
He was unbelievable, wasn't he? He outshone all of our midfield. But go on, Nigel. Sorry, mate, before I interrupted you.
No, it for the first time ever, he seemed lost in midfield at times, chasing shadows. It was like he didn't know whether to go and attack the ball or drop deep to help out what was going on behind him. I think he was caught in 2 minds with the shit show going on behind him, and the shit show going on next to him, in a way. And
next to him, do you mean Souček?
And Paqueta, though. To be fair, the 3 of them, were just we lost it.
We had. Well, I know. It was terrible. Right, John, you can have Ben Rama. Ben Rama was shit, to be honest. But he, again, you know, he's someone that can score a goal. I could understand why any player comes off in that team, but I couldn't understand a fault of taking a. I couldn't understand taking a forward player off that had just scored a great goal in the last game. But anyway, John, it's up to you, mate. Go on, Ben Rama.
No, look, I agree with you. I mean, he was.
He only played half a game.
No, I know, but I'm going to judge him on that. He was wasteful in possession. He was. He kept giving the ball away. But I do agree with you in terms of when you're chasing the game, why are you taking him off and leaving Souček on, for example, right? I get that. And I think a lot of the fans' disgruntlement is because of the fact that it always seems to be Benny, doesn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I can't, you know, it was half a game. He was poor. No poorer than anyone else, I suppose, to say, one of the worst ones anyway, put it that way. Would I give him a donkey?
He didn't do it. He did less than nothing. I think that's fair to say.
It's got to be, in it.
Yeah,
it's going to have to be another 4 for me.
I think a 4.
He didn't have a good game, and I get it with the fans where they're singing him because at the end of the day, neither did Bowen. Yeah, no. Neither did Souček.
That's the point.
Rice,
but the fans were singing because you're taking off a player that can do something.
Yes,
Nick, I don't even think it's that. I don't even think it's that. I think it's the fact that Souček, for example, who's not going to get you a goal generally.
I ain't got enough space for all these doggies.
What's that?
I ain't got enough space for all these doggies. Right.
I think it's just purely a lot of the fan base feels that Moyes just takes it out on Benny. That's what it is.
Right. I'll take Bowen. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he was fucking utter toilet. I don't think he was really tracking like he should have been. I think he was. I think, you know, half the reason that that Johnson was getting exposed was because he wasn't helping out. Neither was Ben Rama, but normally he does Bowen. And that chance that he missed was worse than both of Antonio's chances combined the other day. Like, he was fucking shit. He literally straight down the keeper's throat. It was pathetic finishing. Our only chance. So I'm going to give him a 2.
Also, don't forget he gave away the penalty.
Yeah.
And as
that
someone
was a dive. We didn't talk. That was a dive by Mitoma.
Oh well, yeah, but he's slowing.
There was contact. No, there was contact. But I'll tell you, through him, it's one of them where they go, "Oh, we bought it." And I'm sorry, if you bought a penalty, you've dived.
But then what about Bowen's dive when there was no one near him?
Yeah,
he
rightfully got booked for it, didn't he?
What's that?
And he got booked for it.
Yeah, but quite rightly because it was shocking.
Yeah. I know. Right, so Nigel, I know I've got Nikola Vlasic on the graphic, which seems stupid, but he was about as present as Danny Ings in that game yesterday. So let me know what your thoughts were on Danny Ings. He was good, wasn't he? He was good.
Vlasic in Italy probably had a better game than Danny Ings did.
West Ham,
listen, Danny.
There's reasons for it, but you got to judge him on his performance.
On his performance, I'll go 2.
It was shit. It was just pointless in being there.
Can I give him a 3 actually? Because I did enjoy when he blasted the ball into the Brighton fans.
Yeah. Mark him up.
I would give him.
Were they going to give him 6 stick because of his Southampton links, didn't they? But do we think that? I know we can only score him on it, but what service did he get?
Yeah, no.
Nothing, John. So if he gets nothing, he does nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I get it.
I'll do Pablo Fornells. I don't think Fornells was any worse than Ben Rama when he came on. I think he looked. You know, he was all right. He weren't better. But again, he played a full half. I'm not going to mark the other subs. I haven't got Zuma on there either. So yeah, I think Fornells I'll probably give a 4. Same as Benny. It was about as effective. So yeah, this has got to be the most donkeys we've ever done. Fuck me.
It's like a donkey sanctuary, isn't it? Literally is a donkey sanctuary.
It really is.
I screenshot this.
All right. Right, I'm banning man in the matches as well. That's not happening today. There's no man in the match today.
There's no point marking Moyes, is there? There's no point marking Moyes.
I'm going to mark him.
Just put it on. There's no conversation needed, though, is there?
If I had a donkey's ass, I'd be giving him a donkey's ass.
Is there no man of the match sponsored by Manscaped? You know? They get their bollocks trimmed.
Right. I'm going to give David Moyes, honestly, that was by far the worst, most pathetic fucking...
Why have you got a 6 on there?
He ain't got that yet. It's highlighted. Right. Don't worry, I haven't done my score yet. It was the most pathetic of all of his performances as a manager, right? To put that team out with the instructions that he gave them, but on that second half, the change he made at half time, and then the fact he just waited, stood there, 1-0, 2-0. 3-0. He still just stood there doing fuck all. It wasn't like that was quick fire goals. They was 10 minutes apart. He did fucking nothing. He did less than nothing. He's fucking shit. He's getting a -10.
Do you know what makes me laugh though about Moyes now? What I've noticed is
he's rubbish.
He doesn't have any reaction apart from he folds his arms and he just stares even harder as the game goes on. He just goes.
What about his half-hearted? Where he does that to the back line, like he don't mean it, but he's telling them to get up. He's doing that. He sort of waves them forward. Yeah, not really. Just
Do you know when I was thinking an headline for me post? The one thing that sprung to mind was if Danny Welbeck scores, it's bad.
Yeah. You know, Danny Welbeck's dad works for the British Army, didn't you?
What the pub? Or
no, he works for the British Army. He does bomb disposal. His name's Stan.
Stan Welbeck. Hey, boom, boom. Do you know what the funny thing is, right? I know he's injury prone. I guarantee you, Danny Welbeck would be better in the Moyes system than Skamaka and Ings. He probably would be. He probably would be. Still be shit, but yeah. Right. Anyway, that was good. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that. That's a lot of donkeys. How many donkeys we got there, including Moyes? One.
You got to
2,
screenshot
3,
that one.
4, 5, 6. I will do. Yeah. Yeah, it's there. I will do.
You need to judge every shit performance now against that.
I know.
That's the new low.
That was the new low. That was the new low. So what we'll do? Shall we? Don't phone in. I've got a couple of calls that from people that have texted in first. So before we actually open the lines, we're going to phone a few people first. I am going to phone Sean.
Oh fuck!
I'm going to phone Sean Whetstone. I'm going to phone Sean Whetstone to give us. A bit of insight, knowledge into. No, don't. No, let him say it. Come on, don't be horrible.
Him 5 minutes.
Come on.
Nigel just wants to ruin it for him.
I know. Come on. Yeah. He might have something new. He might have something that he's held back from you, Nigel.
Good point, Nigel. You might not tell you everything, mate.
You're on a need to know basis, mate.
Nick might be his new pal.
No, I know his new pal is because his new pal stood next to me in the ground because Sean didn't know I was at the game. And the next thing I knew, there's a picture of me in the group chat standing in there.
You ain't going to be in a 5-star restaurant or something.
You right?
Hello, Sean. How are you?
I'm good.
You good? We've got your mate Nigel on the panel at the moment.
All right. Has he mentioned Dodsey? Yeah,
he has mentioned Dodsey. Yes, yeah, he has mentioned it.
Oh well, I'm contractually obliged to say our away report for 6'2" is the best away reporter in the business.
He is good.
Because apparently he feels a little bit neglected by Nigel from time to time.
Yeah, I didn't actually mention 6'2" or what he does for a living. I just said Dodsey. So.
I particularly enjoyed Dodsey coming out and being the bigger man and saying that Nick, Gary. And John were right all along about David Moyes, and that was good. I enjoyed that.
Did he?
He did, yeah.
Oh, did he now?
Came out and said Moyes out, yeah. So it's, I enjoyed that.
So when you spoke to me earlier, have you spent 3 hours talking about the game and ratings? Really?
No, we started at 7:30, so we've been talking for about an hour and 10. So it's not too bad.
Oh right, okay.
It's not too bad.
Okay, not too bad.
I mean, your podcast run on for 2 hours. That's why you split him in two now.
Only because of Nigel.
Oh,
3 hours.
But anyway,
well, actually, it's probably Canning Town Len because he wasn't there last week. We finished it in 2 hours for both episodes. So there.
Oh right, okay. So it's a Len effect. How is Len? He's had norovirus, hasn't
he? Yeah, he's been a bit sick. Yeah. So hopefully he's back.
He felt better yesterday.
On Monday. Yeah. Since we mentioned 6'2", we should mention more than just a podcast if we're doing some plugs, of course.
More than just a podcast.
There we go.
Fuck's sake, is it
right.
turning into an advert? What is this?
Right. Yeah, we're going to do Manscaped in a minute.
Yeah.
Right. So, Sean, honestly, obviously, obviously, I'm hoping that you're going to have something new and fresh for us and exciting from your conversations that you've had with the right people. Do you want to take us through what happened yesterday?
Well, what can I say? I mean, come on, we've never beaten. I'm sure you've spoken about this. We've never beaten Brighton in the.
Are you justifying
Premier League.
Are you justifying the defeat? Oh, yeah.
Right, we've never beaten Brighton in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Our away, they were our bogey team. Our away game, our away form is bloody awful. I expected nothing. I mean, I do like going Brighton away, but I heard Nigel was there.
Yeah.
No, you fucking didn't.
Yeah. Listen, Sean, you're not going to kid.
On his phone, and waving to the camera's front row. He's like a celebrity fan nowadays.
Sean, you're not going to kid anyone into accepting this result yesterday. So stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your time. It ain't going to work.
I personally didn't expect anything from yesterday. I really didn't.
Right.
I've never expected anything at Brighton. I was there the last day of the season. I didn't expect anything. That said, we were atrocious. And I tell you what, and I know you've spoken about this, but you've got to put some. If we're talking about, let's not talk about David Moyes because he gave all the old excuses. I wish he would stop doing that. It annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah.
But Declan Rice, right? Everybody's jumped on the Declan Rice. Well, match experts know better. If you watch both, and I put one of these on Twitter today, his real full-length interview, he apologised. He apologised to fans.
John said that.
The club.
Yeah.
He said, it's not good enough. It was abysmal. It was atrocious. I want to apologise on behalf of the players. So, he stood up and said it wasn't good enough. It wasn't. It was, look, let's not take away from Brighton. Brighton had a good game. And, I'm sure Brighton were very, very happy. The same way as Liverpool fans were today, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, we were atrocious. We didn't turn up. And Moyes has got to take blame for that as well as the players.
Yeah.
And let's just hope we come back on Thursday and we come back. What's the next one? Is it Leeds away is the next game? Or is it Aston
we've got Aston Villa at home. We've got
three home games in the trot, Sean. Just, So.
Yeah, have we? Right.
Yeah.
So Aston Villa. Yeah.
So what is the stance then from the little one?
The stance hasn't changed. Look, they're saying, look, senior sources, you've read it. Look, David Sullivan spoke to Hammers News. You've seen what he said. We're back in the manager, etc. You've seen what Clarendon here have quoted from their senior source. We know it. They're saying, the players are very tired from Man United on Wednesday.
Yeah.
They're saying they still back the manager. They're saying there's no one available. It's too expensive. Villa's a big game. They're saying, and getting pretty arsey, saying, well, who would you bring in? Forget, I know there's been rumours about Rafa Benitez. Forget Rafa Benitez. He ain't coming.
Right. Okay.
Forget Harry Redknapp. Harry Redknapp is not coming as a short term. Forget that as well.
But
right,
yeah. But
so there are.
But what I'm saying is, Sean, as I said to you earlier on, they're citing it being expensive. Getting rid of the manager and getting a new manager is expensive. Yeah,
they're desperate to keep him. I've just written an article while I was waiting for you on 6'2".
Yeah,
and I've written about it. They're desperate to stay to the end of the season and not sack the manager.
Yeah,
he's still on thin ice. Look, you and I know, right? If they were going to sack the manager, would they be telling me? Would they be telling?
No, they
you?
wouldn't. But they wouldn't be. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Would they be telling Jason Burt?
No.
Would they be telling any of the press or any of the?
Well, they can't. They can't. Can they? They can't. They can't tell you.
No, of course they can't. And if he really, really is going to get sacked, it will just come out of the blue. No ITKs will know about it.
Yeah.
Because they're not stupid enough to say, well, if he doesn't win the next game, he's gone. If he hasn't, this. I feel
So
the board are very
that
reactive
said, Sean. That
and the
said, Sean.
impulsive decision will just come when you least expect it and go, no, he's gone.
But that said, so you're coming out sort of obviously saying what they've said to you, which is the official line.
Yeah.
But that may not be the truth. They could be talking to someone else. They could be doing something completely different, couldn't they?
All I'll add to that is I talk to agents as well. It's a very incestuous business, right?
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of agents, and agents know what's going on. Look, we know Poch has sort of laughed and gone, no way, right? We know Tuchel won't come. We know that Rafa Benitez has said, well, two things. Rafa Benitez said, one, I need over a 3-year contract. I'm not anyone's 6-month, standing.
Yeah.
And two, apparently he's got some reservations coming to work at West Ham as well. So it's not just a long term.
Yeah, but you're not going to get them type of managers coming in my opinion, with Sullivan in charge. I'm sorry.
No.
I just don't see them type of managers coming in.
You might be right on that. I don't know who's saying that.
I just can't see
that.
They're too big personalities.
Yeah, it's John. Yeah.
Sorry, Sean.
You might be right, John. You might be right, John. But I think there is the money they pay. Look, the money they pay to buy him off. Let's not get too hung up about it. I know I've written about this and everything. It's about 5 million, right?
Fucking propaganda machine.
I am. Yeah. Well, content. I'm a content machine.
Yeah. Bullshit.
It's about
machine.
5 million. It's not. That's how much it will cost. It's
you
5
said
million.
10 million.
So
you said 10 million in your article.
Well, that was a long time ago. If you look at it, I think it was about 7 million. I didn't say 10 million. It was 7 million.
I think
Nigel needs a jump start.
I think Nigel.
But you know what?
Mate, I just fucking zone
bonus.
out when he talks. More legs is on a podcast. You can't see me.
Look, at the time, I'd included bonuses, and I think I'd explained on the podcast.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have included bonuses. The basics are enough. So he earns about £5 million a year, right?
Yeah.
4 million is a basic, and then the £1 million bonus, roughly speaking.
Poor fucker. I bet he struggles.
And do you know what? Work out at £4 million a year. Work out how many weeks he's got left. Divide it. And usually you've got two options. You can either buy someone out by paying them 75% of what's left, right? Or you can carry paying them monthly for the rest of the contract. Broadly speaking, they're the two options.
Yeah.
So if you work that out, it's somewhere between 4 and 5 million.
Yes.
But I don't think, let's not going to get too hung up about whether they're prepared to pay 4 or 5 million. It's about the compensation to bring someone in. It's about what does that bounce give you?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Everton are above us now, but is Sean Dyche really going to save them?
They're not above it. They're not above us. They're not.
They're not above us, are they?
No,
all right.
No. So,
I didn't follow.
It was a good guess. There are very few teams not above us at the moment, but they're not one of them. They're one of the teams below us. What's that?
Where are we? 17th.
We're 18th.
Where are we?
I think we are. I think we're 18th.
No,
No, 7. No, we're 7.
We're 18th.
No, we're 7. No, we're 7.
16th.
Are we 16th?
16th.
6th. Yeah, sorry, 16th. Yeah. Oh, no.
16th leads to 17th.
Well, I know.
It upsets me to look at the table. I've stopped looking at it.
Well, I know that Everton were winning at one stage. Maybe I looked at it at that point. But
Yeah.
they drew in the end, did they?
Yes, they drew. They drew in the end. Yes, it was a good game. Two teams showing a bit of fight. Something we didn't fucking do.
Well, you know, Sean Dyche may not just save them. They didn't want Sean Dyche. I know that. I know for a fact they said no.
Can I ask you? You know they don't want. Who did they want? You talk to.
Well,
you talk to agents. You talk to agents. So who did they want? Tell me.
If I tell you who they want, you'll just laugh.
Go on.
Moyes.
They want David Moyes.
No.
They say
they're not. But then they're not telling you the whole truth, mate. Because I'm sorry.
Well, I think. Look, all right. Reading between the lines, I think they would take Potter when he's sacked from Chelsea. Reading between the lines.
He's a broken man now. He's a broken man, Potter. I think it's a wrong time to
you
appoint
say
him.
that, but he did all right at Brighton. And you could say that about Eddie Howe when he left. No one wanted Eddie Howe when he left Bournemouth, though, did they, Nick?
Yeah, no, I did. I've always wanted it. I've always liked Eddie Howe.
Yeah, but look at his. You know, it's just to show that people change and your stock can go up and down. Look, I don't know who they want. They've just said consistently nobody's available for a price. No one wants to come to us. There are no short-term
Can I
options.
say something?
We desperately don't want to change. And if we were looking to change, we'd be looking for someone like David Moyes.
But listen, you just admitted yourself that if they were about to let David Moyes go, they would not be telling you. They would not be telling anyone. Right?
No.
Therefore,
correct.
if they had other managers lined up, they're not going to tell you they've got other managers lined up, because then that shows you that they've lost faith in David Moyes, and the rhetoric that they want pumped out is not going to get pumped out anymore.
I will tell you.
So therefore, they're not going to tell you who their favourites are they?
I know that, but unfortunately, you can't do anything without agents now, and agents are the most indiscreet bunch of people out. It's really hard to keep a secret if you're even talking to intermediaries. That's how we know about Poch was approached through intermediaries and just laughed it away. That's how we know Rafa Benitez was approached and said, no, 3.5-year contracts. We know this goes on. It's not a complete secret society.
But I reckon you do know something. I mean, look, there's only 8 people on the stream. That's all there is, isn't it? It's really quiet tonight. There's not many people on here. So just let us. Do you know anything more than that, or is that it basically?
No, I don't. Honestly, I don't. Honestly, I don't. And I've spoken to everyone else, and they don't know either. Honestly, I will tell you.
I know you would.
Nick, very quickly, while Sean's on the line, because Hammer89's asked this 3 or 4 times, he said, ask Sean about the article today regarding Kretinsky buying gold shares.
Is that right? Is that something that's happened?
Well, I mean, the Daily Mail ran a story, and I also ran one in 6'2", the biggest article of the weekend.
And fucking hard, was it? We didn't write many. Fucking hell.
Got more in your article, Khan. Anyway, the truth of the matter is, it's a nothing story. Yes, in the Articles Association, yes, the biggest shareholder can buy the second biggest shareholders. He gets first refusal. The second biggest shareholder gets second refusal. That's not rocket science. Yes, Kretinsky has an option to buy Sullivan's shares, first refusal, as being the biggest shareholder after Sullivan, for the same price he bought the FIC, which is like 243 million, right? Yeah. However, here's the problem. Number one, right, because we know March is coming up.
Yeah.
Number one, when David Gold died, he didn't transfer all of his shares into a trust. So lots of them, you can go on Companies House and check this, they're in his name. That means they're liable for inheritance tax, which means the Gold family can't sell them. Second thing is, David Sullivan has said to me himself, he doesn't need the money, doesn't want to sell. What would money do for him? This gives him purpose. Look, when David Sullivan's like 76, when he dies, right, I don't know what his family will do with the shares, right? And all of his are mostly in trust now. But I just think it gives him purpose. He likes doing this. He likes meddling. He likes doing it. Even if he was offered £1 billion, I just think, well, what would he do with it? He's already got £1 billion. When you've got £1 billion, what would you do with another £500 million?
I know, I agree, but I'm going to bounce onto another subject now, right? So, look, listen, and I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you to help peddle an agenda against Sullivan, but there's been a lot of people that have been out there saying now, and I'm one of them. The only way that the only way you could possibly get David Moyes sacked now, because I think we'll all agree that one of the reasons that Sullivan likes David Moyes is because David Moyes is a bit of a firewall for David Sullivan. He will take the blame for stuff. He's a bit of a puppet. He's a yes man. Do you agree that do you agree that David Sullivan does buckle under fan pressure when it's directed at him? Do you agree with that?
100%.
There you go, John.
100%.
There you go. So that 100%.
Do you know what? If you want anything, and I shouldn't be saying this, but you've only got 8 listeners tonight.
There's only 8. There's only 8 of us.
If the fans turn toxic against the board at the London Stadium, things will change very quickly.
There you go, everyone. It's in our hands.
So are you calling some sort of demonstration then, Sean?
It's not a call to arms, John. It's
Well,
not a
that's
call
what it
to
sounds
arms.
like to me, mate.
It does.
It's not a call to arms, mate. It's really not a call to arms.
Will you lead the picket line, Sean? If
No, I won't. I'll
won't.
film it, but
No, he'd be up front
to
filming it.
Burnley game. Live stream it, but I will not be leading it.
But I think this is
They
true.
zoomed in on me. I was in front at the Burnley protest. I was right in front of it. I was filming it all.
But
And I put it up on YouTube.
I've
and
been
the
saying
Premier
this
League
for ages. I've been saying it for ages.
copyrighted it.
I've been
Go
saying
on.
it for ages.
Yeah, no,
David
it's true.
David Sullivan is a populist. He does like to be liked. He doesn't do a very good job of being liked, but he wants to be liked. You know, he wants to be. You know,
Correct.
he takes his girlfriends to the fucking to the stadium. He likes to sit
doesn't
there in his
hardly
phone.
go to London
No,
Stadium
he don't.
anymore,
No,
does he?
John, he does. You was wrong the other day. He's been at loads of games. He was at Brighton the other day as well.
He goes
He was
away.
in-
games.
because we
Who
checked.
says that David Sullivan doesn't go to games?
John.
I never see him.
No, he goes to pretty much every game.
Yeah, so he's always there. He's always there. But that's
Brady
what-
doesn't, and Gold didn't for a long, long time. But Sullivan
He was
pretty much
fucking on
goes to
death's
every
door.
game.
I think that was why.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, but
End at Bernie's.
but
we don't reveal how sausages are made.
No.
Nigel, remember?
No, we don't. But look, anyway, Sean, thank you very much for
thanks,
providing us with not much information. That was very good.
That's all right. It's
That was
my
good.
pleasure.
That was good.
Good luck for the next 2 hours of talking a load of
I know.
bullshit.
I'm gonna get you a little jingle for next time you come on. Sean ain't gonna give it to you. That's what I'm gonna give you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you that one.
That's fine.
No,
It's my pleasure.
No, but listen, I do know. Listen. What I will say, listen, people. If
Go on.
Sean did have information to give us, he would give it to us. He would. It's just at the
I
moment,
don't
and he's
make
explained
up
why.
shit.
No.
I only can tell you what I know.
No,
right?
if he had it, if he had information to give us, he would
One
tell us.
thing I'd say, right, is that
Go on.
when the real journalists start saying Moyes is on the edge,
Real-
then you know there's truth.
Shots
in it.
fired. Shots
Yeah.
fired.
So,
What, is Sean a journalist?
not a real
But
one.
I'm not a journalist. Number one, I'm not a journalist. And number two, the proper journalists do talk to me. I'm not naming them, but you know who I
So
talk to.
no, I know, but
And
when the
we-
real journalists start coming out saying Moyes is in, Moyes is in
But
trouble,
let me
then you
tell
know he's
you,
in trouble.
right,
But they're
I'm gonna
not
give you-
saying that though, are they?
No.
So
no,
we
they're
can
not.
believe
So
what
there's a-
Sean
there's-
is saying. We can.
There's a lot of people angry in the chat. But look, listen, they're going to direct that at you at the moment,
Look,
Sean, because I think they wanted you to say something
Yeah, of
different.
course, that's
I think
fine.
they want you to say something
Nick,
different.
there's
so-
one thing, right? You need to know, right? All the ITKs, all the journalists, they all talk to each other, right?
Yes.
A little bit behind the curtain, they all talk to each other. We all get on, right? At the end of the day, and we all swap what information.
It must
there
be
is
a riveting
available.
WhatsApp
It's a
group.
little. It is. It's a little community. Football friends.
That must be a
Friends,
riveting
football.
WhatsApp group. Yeah.
RTK friends.
Yeah, God. Was it Sean, before our was it as entertaining as our WhatsApp group before it fell to pieces and everyone left?
It's less emotional. Let's
Oh, right,
just
okay,
say.
okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Nothing
I mean,
beats
by
that,
the way, on the WhatsApp groups I belong to, people don't throw their toys out of the pram and leave.
Shut
every
up.
hour.
You're aiming that at me. Shut up, you fake journalist. Get him off. Get him off.
Hashtag John Osborne has left the group. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, well, you all left the group. But at one point, do you know what? There was only me and Dodgy bloody left in the group at the end of the day.
So there was one day where John
we're
left the
still
group,
running the
came
group.
back
It's
in
just
and
us
left
two
the
left.
group, and I've just picked it up by reading the thread from the evening where John had left the group, and then he was back posting, and then he left the fucking group again. I'm thinking he's been in, he's been out, he's been out again. He fucking was.
I
I
know.
get very angry. I get very angry.
In out, it's like the
behind
okey cokey. In
I
out,
know.
in out, shake it all about. Anyway,
Go on,
you
fuck
don't
off
want to
now.
know.
No,
about
no,
how
we don't.
sausages are made.
Right. But look, anyway, Sean, we are going to let you go because we've got a couple of calls to get on.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for coming on, mate. And like I say,
That's all right.
if you
That's all right.
if you do hear of anything, let us know. Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know. Let us know. Let us know before Stell. Yeah. Let us know before Stell. That'd be good.
You want an exclusive, yeah?
Yeah,
All right,
I want
I'll
an
give you one
exclusive.
exclusive this year.
Nice
this
one.
year.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much. Top
All
man.
right. See you, chaps. Bye.
Cheers, mate. See you later.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Bye. Oh,
He just
dear.
came on a minute. He just came on as an ITK and said, he said this. They will lie to me and they won't tell me everything. So how the fuck are you an ITK then?
I know.
No,
But-
but he
admitted that with this type of thing, with this type of
I know,
news,
yeah,
they're not
yeah.
going to tell anyone. They're not going to tell
Go on,
people.
Nigel. Go on, Nigel.
there is a pattern. to what's because I've seen it over the years, so you can see a pattern in the way Sullivan talks. Yeah, and what he says is, and there are times where Sullivan will go dark and not say something, and that's when something's going to happen.
Yeah.
When he answers,
because he answers everything, doesn't he? To the people that know him, he answers almost every email, doesn't he?
But when I begged him to sack Sam Allardyce, and I sent him 100 comments from Knees Up Mother Brown about Sam Allardyce.
Yeah.
And I said to him, this man's, I sound like you now, Nick. This man's killing the fucking club. If you don't sack him, this is what people are going to do.
So just so you know, if you think I'm extreme, Nigel chased Sam Allardyce around Aldgate one-way system. He did.
While he was in the back of a cab, can I just say that?
Wasn't my cab? Can I just let you know?
No, it wasn't. So because you could have took him to the airport and so on. Fuck off. But anyway, he then replied to me, an irate fan.
Yeah.
And sent me the press release that they were keeping Allardyce, but things are going to change and everything else. And he sent it to me before they'd give it to the club press officer to release.
All right, okay, just quickly, Nigel.
So they do.
If at what percentage do you think Sullivan is down the road of sacking Moyes now? What he said so far.
No one sucks Moyes. No one sucks Moyes, mate. No one sucks Moyes.
I'll tell you what. If I
came on as an ITK and revealed the square root of fuck
off. If I read into what he said to what he said to, the people that listen to him, Villa's a big game. Now, normally he don't say things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's picked that game out. So I maintain if he loses to Villa,
he's gone.
In the same manner, if we lose to, and it's all, and I think it can be down to performance. That if we perform that way, you can't take Larnaca or anything because I'm sorry, they're a pub team.
It's a fucking airport. I said it the other day.
So if we lose to Villa, and that is possible because Villa play well, and we are, blowing hot and cold. If we blow cold that day and Villa on fire, I think they will pull the trigger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, as much as I don't care about, not being in the Premier League, and they bloody do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, if you remember, Nick, when we were arguing about this months ago.
We don't argue, mate.
I said, we were having a frank exchange of views. He will get till March.
Argue.
Yeah. He will. Actually, I don't argue as bad as you two. It's you two you have to keep apart.
I know. I
did say he'll get till March.
We've been good lately. We've been counselling, me and John. So it's getting better.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good. We're getting help.
So he's got till March. I think if we lose to Villa, he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
We've spoke about it. That Everton game. It just. I'd have loved that Sean Dyche to manage West Ham.
Mate, no, honestly, I said at that time, El Sacchio, or whatever the fuck they called it, I said it could be the case that last minute save from Fabianski ultimately relegates us. Because he would have gone after that game. He would have. We all said the same then. It was whoever lost that was going to go.
No, because he'd have had to have lost the game, and we didn't. Fabianski don't make the save. It's a draw, so therefore nothing would have happened.
Yeah, don't ruin my tweet, Nigel. Don't ruin my tweet. Right, let's phone Gowie.
Oh, Colombo.
Let's phone Gowie. I'm sure he'll pick up. Here he is.
Hello.
Hello. Is that Gary from Watford?
Oh, he's got the telly on.
You got your telly. Gary, you're an amateur, mate. Come on, turn your telly off.
Yeah, he caught me on the. I thought Black Country Hammer was coming on first.
No. We've got a couple of others. He hasn't. I don't think he's texted me. I'm gonna have to check my phone in a minute.
He's not coming on tonight because I've got subtitles ready.
But anyway, I'll hand you over to John because I'm going to actually whiz through my phone for a minute to see if I've got any text for people to come on next. So go on, John.
Well, it's up to Gary, isn't it? Gary,
Hello.
What you got to say, mate? How you doing, mate? You all right?
Hello, John. Hello, Nigel.
How you doing, Gaz?
All right, mate. I was going to say, I think it's an all-time low yesterday. I watched the game around my friend's house, and it was shocking. Won't go on about it because it's all been said, what's going to be said.
Yeah.
But there's a pattern emerging. If you look at our last 3 home games, we've taken 7 points from 9. 3 with Chelsea, beat Everton, beat Forest. 7 goals scored, 1 conceded. lost our last 3 away games, 7 conceded, none scored. So we're going to stay up. It's going to be our home form, and we're going to go down. It's going to be our away form. So the thing about what the guy just said, the ITK guy just said about it being a bad performance at home.
Yeah,
it's not really happening. It's our own form. It's keeping us out the bottom 3 at the moment.
Yes.
And we've got 3 home games in a row now. We've got, luckily, the Man City game's been moved forward. So we've got Southampton, Newcastle, and Villa. So going by our recent home form, I wouldn't be surprised if we picked up 7 points from 9. I think we can beat Southampton and Villa. I mean, we've beaten Villa 5 times in a row now under Moyes, whatever that means. And Newcastle have dropped off. But what worries me is there's still quite a lot of West Ham fans out there. I still think there was a guy last night on the channel who said, I still think we'll stay up. And I'm thinking, well, what you're basing this on, there's 3 worst teams. And I think the same 3 teams getting ruled out, Southampton, Bournemouth and Leeds. Well, Southampton have won 2 of the last 3. They've beaten Chelsea away and they won yesterday against Leicester. Leeds have won last week. Yep. Bournemouth won at Wolves. Bournemouth nearly got something at Arsenal yesterday. And our squad on paper is better than teams, but football's played on grass, not paper.
No, that's it.
And you know what? If you've never seen a football match in your life yesterday, I sat there with a mate of mine, and the body language of the players, they look absolutely demoralised. I mean, good players have been made to look really awful now. Declan Rice looks absolutely lost. They've got Paqueta's Brazil number 10.
Gary, can you remember a worse performance?
I've been watching West Ham a long time.
Yeah.
You know what? Saying all that, Brighton are probably up there with Arsenal and Man City in terms of possession, passing the ball. They are a very, very good team. I mean, they've done Liverpool twice 3-0 in the last few weeks. I mean, even last season, they won away at Arsenal, West Ham, Tottenham, drew at Chelsea. They're a very good side.
Oh, they are. They are. But you've got to compete. You've got to compete, though. You've got to compete.
Of course you have. We didn't compete, Nick. We didn't compete at all. And this is what worries me. So the trouble is, we're a bit like Nottingham Forest. They're the same. It's their own form. It's keeping them out the bottom 3. Yeah. But if you suddenly start losing home games, you're in real trouble.
No, you've
that's
look,
the trouble.
Every relegation dogfight, they always say it's your home games. You've got to pick your points up, and you're right. We have got to keep winning at home and keep picking the points up at home. But we've got some. I mean, Villa's not an easy home game, is it?
No, it really ain't. I'm more or less after what we just watched. Because Villa play good football as well. They play at quite a high tempo. I'm more or less convinced that we're going to get beat by Villa. I think we will. I think they are.
Think so.
I think they are literally better than us, Gary. I think they are.
Nick, I think Villa defensively are all over the place. I mean, you look at they lost 3 in a row recently. They conceded 4 at home to Leicester for Arsenal. Yeah. They lost 3 at Man City and conceded 11 goals in 3 games. Like they won the last 2. But teams are doing this. You get Leicester are doing it. Wolves will lose 2 or 3 and then win 2 or 3. I've not seen another team put in a performance like we did yesterday.
No. That was
shocking. You're not watching every team every game, are we?
That was 69 passes we played in 90 minutes.
I don't think the players were there after last week. I think they're going to be really under scrutiny now, and I think you've seen it last few weeks. We've gone to Wolves and been terrible. We were terrible at Tottenham, and yet the own performances have been quite good. So, but I tell you one thing yesterday, all the Antonio knockers out there, it's pointless playing Danny Ings up there like that away from home. Oh. He might as well not bother. Because with Antonio yesterday, he at least would have chased, he would have harried, he would have knocked defenders about. Or he's not a great finisher.
Do you know something? I'm so glad Antonio didn't play yesterday. Because he would have been fucking scapegoated for that. He would have been. If it had been if it would have been him up there other than Danny Ings, Antonio would have had the fucking arse ripped out of him for that. He would have.
Yeah. They've got to start playing Antonio. Get him wide. Get Skamaka in or Ings. If you're going to play Ings, you've got to play 2 up top. So you can't do it with a 4 at the back. You're not going to go 4-4-2. The only other way to do it is to 4-2-3-1 or something like that, or 4-2-1-3. Something we can play 2 strikers, play a holding player. I think the home games we've got to play a different way, perhaps, because Ings at home will probably get chances, but away from home, our form is so shocking. It's terrible, and this is what worries me. If you lose one home game now, you really are relying on your home game to keep you at that bottom three.
I mean, the only good bit of news we've had is that the Man City game's been rescheduled, isn't it? And that's been
what I said.
That's been moved. Yeah, that's been moved. So
I think
that's
another
good.
thing, they've got to, some of these away games. It could come down to goal difference. It's that tight, and at the moment we've got the best goal difference. I mean, that was a frustrating thing yesterday. Not just losing. If you lost 1-0, but the 4-0 win last week really done our goal difference a world of good.
Yeah.
Because Everton got spanked 4. And suddenly we're letting 4, and that's been wasted now.
There we go. Look, Sharky's.
And it could come down to goal difference,
Gary, Sharky's put up a text. So we've got Saints, Villa, Leeds, Newcastle, Man U, Liverpool, and Arsenal left to play at home. Now,
but not in that order.
Not in that order. But what I'm saying is, when you look at that on paper, we know the teams that we beat and the teams that we don't.
First three we've got to win.
The first 3,
11 points there.
We have to win. We have to win. But the fact of the matter is, we won't win all 3 of those. You won't win all 3.
Well,
we need a reaction this week.
We are winning our home games. We're not. I mean, I'll just give you that statistic. Recently, our home form is good. We're winning games. We've scored 7-3 and let in 1 goal.
Yeah.
I think I mean, not being funny. If it went to pattern, we've gone to Wolves and Tottenham and been abysmal. And yet, in between them, you've got home games, and they've picked themselves up in the win games.
I'll tell you about that list, though.
Go on, Nigel.
That list, you've got to win away games as well.
Yeah, you've got to.
So it's all right saying you got to win your own games. You look at that list, you ain't picking up 5 or 6 wins there.
No, you're not.
So you're going to have to win 1 or 2 away from home.
Yeah, but if you're saying you're giving us 11 points based on those games you saw the home games, Nigel, that would put us on 34. And I think this season, because it's so tight down the bottom, I think the points thing's going to be like 32 or something.
Really away from home is the 2 wins. Yeah, Bournemouth away, and then we roll the dice. We'll be in the European final.
Oh, here we go.
We've got to beat Leicester away to stay up on the last game of the season.
And you sacrifice that, and you go for the Europa Conference, Vauxhall Conference Cup.
To be honest with you, you're right what you say. The other teams haven't got European games to play. We have. So, I mean, like Thursday, you got the game in Cyprus. You've got the second leg to come. So even if we lost 1-0 out there or drew out there, we can pull it round at home. But I don't want to see him put the full strength side out Thursday when we've got the game against Villa on Sunday.
But I've got no faith that he's gonna do that, because I think we saw against Man United, the team that he put out, he went full strength as he could, and then he's got the fucking barefaced audacity to use that as an excuse. The fact that he had to play on Wednesday and then Saturday, the players were tired. He used that as an excuse after the Brighton game. Now that's Wednesday, Saturdays the same as Thursday, Sundays. You got the same gap. So if we can't do it, then look. Then I've been saying it all along. We saw last season the effect that the European competition had on our league form. We went to shit in the league.
Can I just point out? Yeah,
we went to shit.
Our form this season nosedived after we'd finished all the European games.
Yeah,
it may well have, but I'm talking about last season, Nigel. Playing.
Hold up! You can't turn around and say, "Oh, there's a problem with playing in Europe," and then I then point here and go, "Well, this season playing in Europe and playing league games, we picked up but
Nigel, what I'm saying is,
therefore that says, well,
Nigel, our form on paper's picked up. Our performances have been shit all year. We've been shit all year.
We're talking about picking up points, not the way we play, Nick.
But you're saying like we was playing well when European.
No,
yes,
I'm saying is we won in Europe, and if you look at our league form, we picked up. It was when our form nosedived after we'd finished playing the European.
It's probably relative to the teams that we was playing at that time, because we don't beat certain teams.
Well, no, because it was Palace and Leicester.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah.
That was
after
awful.
We beat FSB 2-1.
That was awful. Yeah, that was bad. I mean, that was your John. That was your turning point, wasn't it? The
Palace one. Palace was awful. Palace was my turning point.
Palace we lost with
Nigel,
the last.
I was going to say to you. What worries me at the moment, the Moyes looks as lost as the players. I think in the game on Wednesday night was a good example of this. We were 1-0 up, and then you get the last 20 minutes, Ten Hag suddenly throws on the players. And what do you do when you start getting under the cosh? What's the one thing you've got to do is keep hold of the ball much as you can. If they haven't got the ball, they can't pressurise you. And that was the ideal. I mean, take the 4 nails off was a major mistake for Bowen. Major mistake.
Yeah.
And he could have even brought Lanzini on there, because you need what we're very bad at. We're not very good at managing games out of holding onto the ball. It seems to be panic mode, doesn't it? And
His in-game management, Gary, is fucking atrocious.
Yeah. But something else, something strange. In the last 3 away games, at Tottenham, Obama was down to the 2 goals. Aguerd was down for all 3 goals at Old Trafford, and Johnson had a nightmare. They were taking it in turns to have their worst career games for West Ham in one game. And it's not, but it doesn't happen at home. So it's obviously something there. It's some sort of mental thing there. We're playing at home or away.
Yeah.
They've got to address that,
Yeah. Well, I think we saw the issue. I mean, Sharky's put down the bottom there. Lazio are brilliant at the moment. They actually are. They're second in the fucking league, aren't they? They're outstanding this season. You know that Anderson's going to come back and bite us in the arse. It probably will if we get that far. I mean, with all due respect, we're not always. I know we've been good in Europe the last few years, but you go back to Kidderminster with the attitude that we've currently got. If we turn up like that, even a fucking Nigel,
think I'm mad.
Nigel, even an airport.
Kidderminster, I can pick out another game.
Nigel,
forever.
No, but Nigel,
on the table.
No, what I'm saying is, Nigel, even an airport could beat us the way that we're playing at the moment. They could. Even Larnaca could beat us at the minute. They're fucking.
I'll tell you what I've got faith, and I'll tell you why I've got faith, because even when we put the kids out in Europe, even the kids went out and won a game.
I think I would rather play the second string. I'd rather play the second string. I'd rather see the likes of fucking Lanzini, Scamacca, players like that. Put them out.
Mate,
put them on the pitch.
I'm talking
is Scamacca second string there?
No, he actually is second string. He's second string. John, how is he not? How is he not?
But he shouldn't be second string.
No, but I would rather see a combination of the kids, Lanzini, Scamacca, the players like that.
That's why Scamacca didn't come on. He's saving the Europe
as well. Another one, yeah, it could be, yeah, masterful player.
I was going to say one more thing. One more thing for Colombo here. No, with Nolan there, that spat with Moyes on the line yesterday. We threw his iPad down. And, it just shows you how much the divider is in the old club. The old club it's rotten right through at the moment. The only way you're going to get rid of it is remove the manager. It's the only way, I think. The rock's getting too deep,
No,
yes.
The only way you're going to get anything out of this club going forward, the only is new owner. You're never ever going to get success that we want and crave with these owners. That's
long term. I mean short term, John. I'm on about short term, John. I'm on about staying up.
But Gary, the reason he's still there is because they have no real ambition for the club. So they don't look long term. It's all short termism. So now,
I agree with you.
And if they get rid of him now, if they get rid of him now, the only option is someone who's trying to rebuild their career, or Kevin Nolan, caretaker manager or something. So
I would. I think the way forward, personally, the way forward now with this many games left has got to be a caretaker manager from within, because we're not going to be able to go out and get anyone suitable.
No.
And plus, you've got continuation. You've got someone. If you bring someone like Nolan and someone else into the setup, they know the players already. They can probably see what's been going wrong, but they've got a manager there that fucking. I'm not saying.
Do you think?
I
was asked Nigel. Do you think if Moyes did go, do you think maybe a Noble Nolan thing might work? What do you reckon, Nigel?
Anything. It gets to the stage that if he's gone, something's got to turn it around. But people say, listen, the only way this club's ever going to change from what it is with new ownership. Because and at the end of the day, look, like it or not, these are West Ham fans running West Ham. If you want West Ham to be challenging top 6, you got to hope that the people that don't buy Man United fancy buying West Ham and not Tottenham.
Mm.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. This is
that
it.
could be Saudi Arabia, and then people can make their own choices in whatever. If that's what you want from your football club, good luck to you. Ain't what I want.
Yeah, no, I know.
You
Right.
know what? The frustrating thing is, Nige, we've got the second highest capacity attendance in the country, 62,500. Only Man United have got more than us. And yet we run like a two-bob club. And
But fans
I
in the
think
ground
supporters-
don't mean nothing.
They don't. They
No,
don't.
but I'm saying, but you still got your class. What is a big club? Is it history? Is it trophies? Is it attendances? You know. But the trouble is,
It's a
what I'm trying to say,
mixture.
the mentality of the club. You can't imagine Arsenal and Tottenham possibly being in this position and not got rid of the manager. That's what I'm trying to say.
No. Right,
You know,
right,
that's a long time ago.
right, Gary. I'm getting lots of messages through now, so I'm going to have to start taking some other calls. So thank you very much for the call,
All right,
mate.
Gary.
And we will
Okay.
speak to you
Take
again
care, mate.
soon. Cheers, Gary.
Gal, take care, mate.
Take
See you
care.
later. See you later,
Hello,
mate.
mate. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, mate. Right, so let's do the next one. Not this one.
Nigel, what planet are you on, mate?
What planet am I on?
West
I
Ham
know.
fans. West Ham fans running
Fans
West Ham. For
I
fuck's
know.
sake, what
Fucking
planet are
hell.
you on?
Who would have thought it? But at the end of the day, that's what they are.
Allegedly.
Right, so this is Ryan. We're phoning next.
Ryan, yeah? Never heard of him.
Ryan, there we go.
Oh,
I'm
hello.
FaceTiming him. Hang on.
Oh, no. He don't want to see you on his
Don't want
screen.
to see
He's
my
laying in bed.
don't want to see my fucking face. Hang on. Oh, it's WhatsApp, innit? It fucks me off. There we go.
Listen to Sean. He's got no intention of getting new. Sullivan.
Hello?
Hello, is that Ryan?
Yeah, it is.
Hello, mate. You're all right. You're through to Claret and
You're
Booze.
right.
I'm Nick. You're on with John and Nigel. What would you like to talk about, mate?
Well, there's no point talking about Moyes because we all know that he shouldn't be there. It's more the Hobbit that's in charge
Go
of
on.
the whole club that oversees it all.
Yes.
That anyone else would have got rid of him. We all thought he should have gone before the World Cup.
My
But
precious.
the guy's running an absolute circus and he doesn't even know what he's doing.
No.
I mean, how can we get beaten 4-0 by a beach and he's not even gone?
I know.
Like,
It's,
And a shingle one at that.
I know. It's a shit beach. It's a
it's
shit beach.
ridiculous.
It's an absolute shit beach. Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
it is ridiculous. We've got shat on by the seagulls. Like it's fucking ridiculous. And it's just every week it's the same thing. I was at the Forest game. I don't think we'll ever score 4 goals playing that shit ever again. We were diabolical in that as well.
It weren't our worst performance, but I know what you mean. For 65
No, it
minutes,
wasn't our
70
worst.
minutes, we was all sitting there.
Yeah.
Thinking, "Fucking hell, this is going to be the same old thing again, isn't it?" And then we said earlier on, it was their manager that kind of handed it on a plate to us.
Yeah,
When
he took Shelby off.
when he
and
took
brought on
Shelby
Andre
off.
Ayew.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
No, it's just how the club is run. It's Moyes. I've got nothing more to say about Moyes because he should go, and I think he knows his time's up, but he's still fucking hanging on.
Yeah.
But
I think he sort of feels untouchable to some extent. The way he comes out and blames everybody else.
It's the way it seems.
I think he's got some dirt on. He's got some dirt on him.
Do you reckon?
100%.
He's got some he's got some photos. He's got some dodgy
He
photos.
has 100%. How is this? We've won 7 games in our last 38 matches. 7, and it was Villa twice. This is off the top of my head. Villa twice, Everton twice, Wolves twice. I think Forest and Norwich.
Yeah,
That's
Big
8.
team. Big team.
How
big
many of
team.
those? Actually, it might have not been someone else twice because one of them I think was Bournemouth as well. And how many of those teams are going to be relegated this season and were relegated last season?
yeah.
Like-
No, you're right. Now, basically, mate, on the whole, when we beat teams, we beat shit. That's typically what we beat.
Yeah, but
And
we still beat shit by only 1 or 2 goals though as well.
No, I know.
That's the problem.
I know. There's
But
also
we've got him complaining about that we've got no goals, and we've got a striker that we signed for 40 million sitting on the bench.
It is fucking
Like,
weird,
it-
right? It is weird
It
because
is.
we've had this talk, we've had this chat about Sullivan and about whether or not they care whether we get relegated or not, whether it's going to impact them as much as what we think it's going to impact them. Do they actually care? And I just don't.
They
I just
care
don't,
for their pocket.
Yeah, but the thing is, like
No,
we said,
they
when they go down, you know, they're gonna have there'll be a fire sale. You got the parachute payments. They'll probably be. If we was to go down and get promoted straight away, they'd probably be quids in. for the first
probably
season.
would, but-
well, no,
but the problem is
then
that he wants
Nigel.
600
Yeah, but
million.
Nigel, if that is the case, so if that is the case, if they're not going to be quids in because Sullivan is a money man first and foremost, why ain't he panicking?
All right, well, look, if we go back to the relegation of 2011, yeah,
I'm fucking panicking.
right. That's that. If you look back at the money that they're put into the football club over the years, the one biggest season they ever put money in was between Gold and Sullivan. They put £32 million in one season, and that was 2011-12. And why was that? Because we were out. We were out of the Premier League. We were in the Championship, and the club was going to lose 40-odd million. So they made up the shortfall. Now that's 12 years ago. Now that 40 million loss is now 80 to 100 million loss. Are they able to put that into the club? Will the shareholders at the end of the day put that in?
Yeah, but in 2011, they were paying for a ground and paying for the upkeep of the ground and all those fees involved in that. Now, fast forward to now, if we got relegated in this stadium, their overheads are near enough nothing. The rent goes down by 50%, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It does.
We don't even know. To be fair, that's another point. We don't even own our own stadium.
No.
Like this is literally just a circus. That's all it is. I don't know. It's Sullivan's world, and we're all just living in it. Realistically,
but owning that stadium means nothing. Owning that stadium, people get hung up. We don't own the stadium. It's a shit stadium. Do you know we shouldn't want to own it? And I'll tell you why.
But not Nigel.
No, but it's not.
Go on, mate.
It's not that. It's nothing to do with about the. Oh, it's a shit stadium. It doesn't matter about the stadium. It's nothing to do with the actual stadium. It's to show we don't have any care to own an actual fucking stadium. He doesn't give that much shit about West Ham.
What do you get for owning that stadium? What do you get for owning that stadium? You get fucking a man in the bills. You get a man in the bills. That's why they don't want to own it. West Ham shouldn't be anywhere. If they're looking for a new stadium, they'd be better off building a fucking new stadium.
Yeah.
Don't get hung up about the stadium. People get hung up. No one's going to buy that stadium and then knock it down and build another one because they ain't going to spend the money to do it.
And the thing is, there isn't really anything you can do to make that place more intimate because I've looked at the construction plans and everything else because the obvious thing to do in that place to give yourself a deeper rake because when you look at the space that's around the stadium would be to sink the pitch so that you could go down. Apparently you can't do it. You physically can't do it. You can't.
That's what happened at Man City, but it was built to be done that way. The problem with the London Stadium, this is typical the ball people, and this is why I say, I've done my fucking homework. You boys know I have. People may or may not know. Yeah, but this was a stadium that was built to have the top rows taken off and left with the lower tier. And when we took over the stadium, they had
is that right?
When the original stadium was built to be cut down to a 25,000 seater stadium, they were going to remove the upper tier was temporary.
Okay.
The lower tier was permanent. And when they decided to let football have it, they had to dig out all the bloody lower tier seating to put in the retractable seating, and they had to re-weld. Because it was only temporary. They had to re-weld the stadium and put extra supports in to extend the roof.
Jesus.
Yeah. Now they want to put solar panels on the roof, don't they? The problem is the roof ain't strong enough.
No.
There's no fucking sun either.
And that's another reason why, because part of the that's why you can't bring the seats too close to the pitch as well, because the roof has to be covering the seats, doesn't it?
I can do the stadium to death, but I'd sometimes say to people, give up with all this stadium nonsense.
I don't
run the stadium. That's different.
But no. Do you know what?
I think the stadium is shit anyway.
Yeah, but do you know what would make it better though, guys? And I mean this as well. No, yeah, a bomb would be brilliant. No. What I'm saying is, But what would make it better would be if you got rid of all the fucking gastro nonsense. If we had our old-fashioned burger vans, if we had this, if you didn't have all the bollocks security wardens and queues and stuff like that. If you could manage it all yourself. I mean, we wandered down to the Amex the other day. There was no security at all, really. Not. I'm going into the turnstiles.
Even wave their wand around me,
mate. Honestly, it was so relaxed.
It waved me in.
It was so relaxed. There was just nothing there. And to get in our place, you got 2 lines of security. You've got to pay an absolute fortune when you get in there as well. In that
How many turnstiles was there?
Got to mortgage your house to buy some food.
Yes, exactly.
Amex, tell the people how many turnstiles was there to put your ticket in.
What, where we was?
When we went in, when you walked in, how many turnstiles was there?
Was there 3?
You walked into the Amex?
Or 4?
There was 2.
Was it 2? It was
one
2.
on the left and one on the right.
Yeah,
Was
and
there
it worked.
a queue?
But it worked, didn't it? Because
There was
straight
no
in. Straight in. Yeah.
No queue.
Yeah, I know. But it's a small stand, mate. That's only a 1 tier.
Well, look,
It's only a
3,000
little 1 tier
fans
stand.
going there and no one queued.
No, I know. But Ryan, what was your what were your thoughts on that shit show the other day against Brighton? Is that one of the worst performances that you've seen?
Yeah, I'd say that, and also the 2-0 loss to Brighton at the start of the season.
That was bad, wasn't it?
That was
bad
equally as shit. I can't even remember us having an actual chance in that game. At least Bowen actually had a shot on target. I can't even remember anything from that game. It was that bad.
And that was against 2 different different managers. And, and Moyes, he completely fucking choked tactically in both of those games.
The problem with Moyes is that he always matches the other manager's tactics.
Yeah.
He doesn't have his own tactics and thinks, you know what, you're coming to the London Stadium, you've got to fucking adapt to our football, and you've got to change your tactics.
I agree with that.
It's no, we'll fucking play whatever you're going to play, and then we'll fucking lose.
Yeah.
It's like
that is the main problem.
It's like he has no faith in himself and his players. Because
Look,
he's just saying...
he's a defensive manager, and he's lost 4 fucking 0. How can you call yourself a defensive manager and lose 4-0? Absolute shit show.
Do you think he's lost it a little bit? When you I'm being serious.
Mentally.
When you listen to the podcast and you listen to the post-match conferences and you just look at the way he manages the team and he manages players, do you think the guy's struggling a bit? Do you think there's something fucking
I think he has
wrong
gone a bit. I think he's gone a bit loopy. I mean, the other week,
he's gone mental.
When he said he went about Ings, he went, Ings hasn't scored enough goals for us. Well, that's because he came on after the 68th minute every time you fucking put him on.
Yeah.
And no shit, he hasn't scored many goals. And you play him against Brighton with nobody up fucking next to him.
I know, mate.
How is the man supposed to score?
I know he's absolutely bizarre. He lives in a wooden clock, and he comes out once an hour. He's absolutely fucking gone.
Absolute dinosaur.
He's crackers. He's crackers. But
can't run a football team, let alone a bath.
He can't, mate. So, what do you think? Do you think we're stuck with him until the end of the season, or like Nigel said? I mean, look, I've got to be honest with you. I'm amazed he's still here, but I'm not at the same time.
He's here till the end of the season.
Sullivan's
sitting on his hands.
He
doesn't know what to do.
I'm with Nigel. I think Sullivan is desperate to get through to the end of the season by hook or by crook. I think if he loses against Aston Villa, especially if it's in a similar fashion, I think you're going to see him gone. He'll be gone. I
don't think he'll be gone, just because he said himself, word for word, he said that if we was looking for another manager, Moyes would be one of our targets.
Hold on, Ryan. I'll tell you when he said that, Ryan. He said that before the World Cup.
Yeah.
And you know, a week is a long time in politics. It's even bleeding shorter in football. Yeah, he said that before the World Cup. People will keep trotting that out. People like Sean, who we had on, will keep putting it out because he can make a story out of it and everything. But a lot's happened since then. Yeah, a big thing yesterday was the fans. Yeah, but because I'll tell you why he's still there. Because by hook or by crook, on the do or die games, they actually do. And you could argue that that could be the problem.
But no, we
if
haven't
lost against Leeds, he would have been sacked. He didn't. Well, it is because Sullivan's big mantra, which he has said for ages, no manager can survive 60 feet on the trot. Well, guess what? He drew the 6th game and he lived to fight another day. It then went down to the Everton game, yeah? And guess what? We won that, yeah? So he does.
Yeah, the El Sacchio.
Yeah, so
exactly.
he has actually won the do or die.
This is what I'm saying to you. And this comment here from Snotworth It. Nick, how many times have we said if we lose against Triple X? Yeah, look, and I know I've probably gone a bit sooner, but as Nigel said, the last chance saloon games, which have been the official ones, he wins them.
But why do you think they're official ones?
No, because it comes at his
they're
own.
not. Exactly, that's what I mean. They're not. They don't mean anything more than the next one. If he's given 3 games, if he's given 3 games and say he draws or wins the last one, then it should be the next game he's given again. It should be the next game, not another game.
But Sullivan's off his tits, mate.
Exactly. So that's why
he is. He is. I just think what happens is we get a win and he gets dizzy and he thinks we're okay, and then
he does.
But, look, hang on a minute. This is the thing. What you and I'm playing devil's advocate here. Yeah, because he pisses me off when he keeps saying it. But at the end of the day, David Moyes has been the most successful manager that Sullivan ever employed.
Yeah, I know. But fuck David Moyes.
Yeah,
so he may have been the most successful manager for the 2
so therefore,
years,
you can see why he wants to cling to him.
Yeah,
exactly. But we all live in the present.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you can't go round, and I've had this argument with someone, and I will. You can't go round sacking managers willy-nilly, because guess what? You still get nowhere.
Yeah, but this ain't willy-nilly, Nigel.
No,
ain't willy-nilly.
Nigel. Any other club would have sacked him by now. Even Southampton would have sacked him by this point.
Yeah, no doubt. He's done well to hold out, but I said he would.
Yeah, no, I know.
He would get.
But that isn't because it's right. That's because you know the way Sullivan's mind works, and it doesn't mean that Sullivan's right because he's not. Look at and he ain't always right. Look at the Avram fucking season.
Well, no, we know that you know that favourite stat I gave you, Nick. You know, every time we sacked the manager, we stayed up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know. It is frustrating. But anyway, Ryan, thank you very much for your call, mate. That was a great call. Make sure you call in again.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, cheers, mate. I'll speak to you soon.
Take care, mate.
Can I just answer? Look, Snotworth It. I mean, great name. I mean, he's put up the league. How can he be the most successful manager? You got to listen to what I say. Don't cherry pick. Yeah, what I said was he's the most successful manager that Dave Sullivan's ever employed.
You cherry pick, though, Nigel. That's what you do.
No, I don't cherry pick. I point out at the end of the day. Yeah. So if you look at West Ham's record under David Sullivan, yeah. Who has given him the most continued performance and league position? League position gives you more money.
Yeah.
Who has achieved that for him? Who's achieved for him the record profit? Whose performances? David Moyes. That makes
income.
So therefore, David Sullivan will look at it and gone, in my time, David Moyes has been the best manager that we've had. Yeah, so he will do everything he can to try and keep him. Loyalty's not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing.
It isn't, but not.
It's idiotic.
We were the club that were proud to have 5
David Francis
in 90 years. Yeah.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, is that David?
Yeah, David. Yeah.
Hello, mate. You're all right. Thanks for calling in. You're speaking to myself, Virgil, and Nigel. What would you like to talk about, mate?
Yeah, ask you guys a question.
Go on, then.
Will the club be sold this year? Do you think?
Oh, I'll go to Nigel.
No.
Go on.
You say no?
More than a one-word answer. Why is that, Nigel?
No, it won't.
Come on. Why?
What?
Why
No, it
won't
won't.
it?
Well, because
wasn't yes.
The thing is on March the 23rd, the 10-year penalty clause, if they sold the club, comes to an end. People assume that means they're just going to walk into the sunset.
Yeah.
Gold and Sullivan, and Gold's kept to his word, always said that they wanted legacy. They didn't want to sell the club. They would be here till the end. David Gold once said that to me. I mean, to be fair to him, it took him 11 years to prove it, but he did finally stay till the end. And now the way he's handed the shares down, like a percentage of the shares would have to be kept for 2 years by the family. Otherwise, they pay a 40% penalty. Now, so if they'd have done that, they wouldn't have done. He wouldn't have set that up with this knowing in the background. So Sullivan has always said he would prefer, I think, children to take over the running of the club. If we were priming to sell the club, why the hell have they just appointed 3 women onto the board of West Ham Women? Because when they sell West Ham, West Ham Women's now owned by West Ham Football Club. It would all go the same way. Why has Brady, Nicola Key, and Tara Warren just been appointed on the board to run the women's club?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question regarding? The owners? But then surely the owners are taking a massive risk, because if you sack Moyes now, it costs what, 5 million, 7 million?
Probably less.
If they go down, or less, if the club go down, the value of West Ham United won't go down. It will plummet. 100, 200 million. It'll be a massive. Yeah. It'd be a massive drop. So surely, if Sullivan is a good businessman, he would not want that to happen.
No,
it'd be madness.
No, but again,
you wouldn't take a risk.
Here's the madness of it. Yeah, it's not real, is it? If it drops in value, if West Ham drops in value, it's not Sullivan's bank account dropping in value.
I've got pissed glasses again.
It's his paper that drops in value. They may see that it's reclaimable. Now, also, it doesn't affect him personally because it ain't his personal money; it's club's money. So his personal bank account, it ain't like when it goes down, Barclays Bank are going to take £200 million out of his bank account. It ain't like that. That ain't how it works. The fact is, as well, they may believe, rightly or wrongly, that there are 3 worse teams than us, and that we won't go down.
Do you think that's what it boils down to, Nigel? Do you think there's a little bit of arrogance there where they're sure that he's going to be okay, that we're going to be okay?
Yeah, but it is, and that's why. And this is the thing, they won't push the panic button, or they won't sack him until it's staring them in the face. And the one thing about this season, I still maintain, a lot of fans don't realise, and you said, is that we're running a month behind. Now, normally by this time in March, we've only got 8 to 10 games left.
Yeah.
We haven't because of the World Cup skew with the season. So we're all looking at it thinking, oh shit, we're down here and it's the middle of March and the season's going to be finished soon. It don't finish till near enough July.
No,
there's
but
still
I think
a lot of games left, and that's the thing. But the games are starting to run out.
13 games, and then 7 of them.
13 games left,
and 7 of them are top half. Nigel. 13 games, and in the last over a year now, we haven't beat anyone of note. 7 of those games are against the top half teams.
I know, and that's why I say with a good confidence, if he loses Villa, he's gone.
Yeah,
because
I
it will
that.
be staring them in. It's sort of not staring them in the face. They really will panic as well psychologically, being in the bottom 3. And the mad thing is that we're not in the bottom 3. But we're only 2 points off bottom.
Would you be frustrated at all, Nigel? Right now, you probably won't. But I would be. When we see what we just watched against Brighton, where there was clearly a mentality, a tactical shift. Like I say, ignore the lineup that we played. We played differently, right? And that's from instructions. Will you be a little bit frustrated if he goes out and he reverts back to a pressing game and we go and beat Villa, he saves himself? You'll be happy with a win, but then will you not be sitting there thinking to yourself, why does the fucker keep? Why that he knows what saves him. He knows how to win. So he knows what to do when he's desperate for a win, and he does it, and we win. Why don't he stick to it?
Look, the things that have happened in the past, you go. There's a great, we all trot out. There's a great Ferguson comment made after the 1992 victory over him when Kenny Brown shinned it. Yeah. Where he called our effort obscene.
Yeah.
And Man United blew the title that season. Leeds won it. And a lot of people thought, oh, look at Ferguson, fancy coming out and saying that. And he said they cheat the fans. And actually, Fergie was right, because
Yeah.
what he's saying is we were piss poor that season.
Yeah.
Under Billy Bonds. We'd come up and we were ranked useless. But we had the problem with the bond scheme that season as well. So the fans were in absolute uproar. But then we go and beat Man United at home, who were on the brink of winning the title. And they were top of the table, and Leeds caught them and won it. And we beat them 1-0. And we still went down. We were at the bottom of the table. And you think it was a fantastic night and everything. And we all laughed at Fergie at the time. But he was right, yeah? For the players to go out and perform like that. So if we go out and do Villa 2-3-0 next week, I will be looking and thinking, well, what the fuck happened to Brighton?
Yeah, what are you doing? What you know? Because and that's the thing. It's like, because you heard his the pre-match press conference in the lead up to the game where they was talking about his change in formation, and someone referenced the back three, and he went, no, the back three, we needed that to get us steady, and we'll probably be using it again. It's like the guy resents playing attacking football, and he can't wait to get back to doing what he's clearly passionate about, which is spoiling football.
No.
He likes to stop other teams
I think
playing.
you're wrong there. I think what he does is he wants to play a certain way. And when it don't work and he's forced to change it, I think he's upset. He gets the that he's at and he don't like being called out on it. So he don't like it when the press go, "Oh,
Bye,
you
John.
play this way,
Close the door on your way out, mate."
And everything else, you play this way.
Can I ask you guys a quick question? Sorry to interrupt you guys. Is there another manager like David Moyes?
Yeah,
as negative.
Benitez.
I mean, now in the Premier League.
No, not in the Premier League. No, not that I can think of. Oh well, Antonio Conte. Conte at Spurs is a little bit like Moyes.
I think Conte is.
Conte is probably a little bit like Moyes, isn't he? But he's one thing with it.
West Ham play awful football. You guys know this. It is shit. We are terrible. It is so negative. We could have Harden up front and he wouldn't score. Moyes isolates the striker. He's so negative. It's sickening to watch. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd ever see a time where I'd agree with the people saying we've got
football.
8 defensive players on the pitch, and yet 3 games ago that's what we were doing.
Nigel, I said the other week, I think you're not going to agree, but the Sam Allardyce style was at least more exciting because the ball was in the other team's area.
Yeah, actually
more.
was. Nigel, it was, mate.
It was long ball, but it was up the other.
At least there was a plan to try and score goals.
It was shit, but it wasn't
just
as bad
fucking
as
lump it up the way.
But there's nothing now. What is the plan now? Like against
I ain't going to say there is, but don't.
No, I'm not saying that was great. It weren't great.
So is this how bad it's got? Yeah, that people now going to accept Sam Allardyce.
I'll take Allardyce over Moyes. I would take Allardyce over Moyes.
Now we have sunk as a football club.
Yeah,
that we have to resort to Darth Vader. Yeah, because that's what Allardyce is.
Moyes is Darth Vader, mate.
No, mate, Allardyce is Darth Vader. Moyes is
he's got him. He's got him.
Nick,
go on, mate.
I took my wife recently to the London Stadium for the first time.
Okay.
She wanted to go to the London Stadium, so we chose the game against Chelsea. It was an awful game. And she even said to me, we were sitting there, and she said, David, West Ham haven't come out their side, at their half.
No.
And we just watched, and she said to me, and she knows nothing about football, she said, David, it's just Chelsea was attacking. We sat back, and it was awful to watch. And when we did press a couple of times, Chelsea's defence is very wobbly.
You could see it, couldn't you? You could see it.
Okay. If I can see it, if you can see it, if everybody can see it, why can't our fucking manager? Sorry, swear.
No, don't apologise. Why
can't that guy? He's so arrogant. It's hard not to hate the guy. Why can't he see it?
It is hard not to hate him, and I've said this before, and I said this after the Brighton game. The game that we went to, Nigel, we basically went to watch Brighton play football, didn't we?
Yeah. Can I just say to David though? I think you've spoilt your wife. I think you need to take her over there again when we get beat, mate. She's not seen the true West Ham. I mean, to go to London Stadium for the first time and see us not lose, that is not a true reflection of this club.
Yeah, but it was a crap game.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah, but a point, hey, come on.
But there is something to be said for that, isn't there? And it's football style, and I know that Spurs fans are getting pelters at the moment. I fucking hate Spurs. But the fact of the matter is, but the reason they're moaning at the minute, because I've said it before, that the one thing that both clubs do have in common, both fan bases have got in common is that we like to see our teams lose and play decent football, but try and play decent football. And I think that it's so difficult to watch football played like this when you're not used to it, because it isn't football.
It's soul destroying.
And the only way
it's awful.
The only way you could give it a pass is if you was winning something.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
Like finishing 6 and 7.
Yeah, but that ain't winning something, Nige, is it?
Well, it is in West Ham.
He might hang about. If you don't sack him, he might win us a European trophy, Nick.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, I know.
Nigel's on a wind up.
He's on a wind up.
Do you know?
He's on a wind up.
No, this is how mad it is, though. If he wins us a European trophy, he becomes only the third manager in our history to win a trophy, but becomes the first manager ever to take West Ham into Europe.
Do you know what David Moyes is? David Moyes is hands down in my 40 odd years of supporting West Ham. He's a manager I have hated most. Out of all the managers that we've had.
You hated him from the offset.
No, mate. No. This last year, no, I didn't like him. I hate him now. When and that was reinforced at that Brighton game where in that second half it was 1-0. And then it goes 2-0, and then it goes 3-0, and he just stands there with his hands in his pockets, and you're like, "Oh, I fucking hate you! I hate you! I hate you!"
If you look at it, Zola was fucking shit.
He was shit, but he played good. Trying to play good football, though.
He tried to play good football, and he was such a nice bloke.
Yeah.
Moyes, in the way that he conducts himself in the press conferences, to turn me against him, because actually I can, and I generally can accept the defeats and whatever, and I've turned against Moyes because of what he says.
Yeah,
not I just think, mate, I've had enough of you.
West Ham faithful saying he's going to get a statue outside the LS. I'll take my dog to go and have a piss on that every day. I will.
I'll
Nick,
take my
why are some West Ham fans obsessed with Europe?
Oh.
They're obsessed. On Thursday night, I'm hoping that West Ham will put out a weakened side. They won't.
Yeah.
Moyes should put out a second team Thursday night, because what's more important, a Mickey Mouse European tie or the game against Villa?
Look, listen, I completely agree with you. And don't get me wrong, if we weren't in the position that we were in, I'd want us to go gun-ho and try and win this trophy. But when you compare the both, when you look at the fact that the Premier League season is in the balance, no, you've got to get you've got to get your priorities right.
What happens if you get in? What happens if a player gets injured in one of those European games? Then you're buggered.
Well, yeah,
get injured in any game. I'm sorry, Dave. They can get injured in any game. They get injured in training.
Yeah, they can.
All I'd say about the Premier League is a lot of fans. I know a few fans that don't really care if we're in the Premier League or not, and I think it's because we're never going to fucking do anything in the Premier League, are we? Let's be honest about it. We're never ever.
John, we were so close. We was. Do you know something? In the year we got sixth, we should have got fourth. In the year we got seventh, we should have easily got sixth to fourth as well. If we'd have made a few investments in January, we could have done something there. And then you talk about the progress that we've made. We're never going to get a better chance of getting top four than what we got in that year ever.
Lack of ambition.
2015, we did.
Yeah, that was close, but that was Pyatt. That was a fucking Everton, wasn't it? Was James McCarthy who injured Pyatt and put him out for a few games? Slag. But yeah, I don't know. But so what do you think is going to happen anyway, David? Do you reckon that if we were to lose, which I think we will, I think we'll lose to Villa. It's not even a case of hoping. I think they're a better team than us. I'm pretty certain that they'll beat us. I think they will. Do you think he'll go if we lose to Villa at home?
I think West Ham are going to beat Villa because it seems to me that they're choosing the games. Because, I mean, against our last win, we won 4-0, played great football.
Yeah.
And the next game, completely different side. It's hard to understand. Moyes didn't want to win that game against Brighton. Maybe a draw. To leave a striker on the bench is unforgivable. How can you're 1-0 down or 2-0 down? You should have brought the guy on.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's unforgivable.
I think it's as simple as what we've said it with David Moyes. I think he's that kind of boring, if you like. I reckon he will have had a survival plan. Once we're in this relegation zone, when we come back from the World Cup break, he'll have had the fixture list up on the screen, and he will have gone. He will have gone. Yeah, we'll win that one. We'll lose that one. We'll win that one. We'll win that one. And the games that are not wins, I don't think he gives a shit about. The ones that are where he's written them off. You're probably right. I think he concentrates on the games that he thinks that he can win, and he doesn't care too much about the other ones. Do you reckon that's accurate, Nigel?
Yeah, I do. I got this.
And how heartbreaking is that?
Yeah, for a man who says he wants to win every game, come on, Dave, don't fucking.
But if you say that, Nick, what happened last year when we beat the Arsenals, the Liverpools, and all that?
No, I'm talking about a survival plan now. Now we've come, but this is different. This is different to what we was last year. Look, this is we're unrecognisable to the team that we're 18 months ago. Yeah, I don't know what's gone wrong. I don't know what's happened. All I know is Chris Miles messaged me the other day, and he was talking to me about the game, and he said he's got a mate, a Leicester fan, and he said his theory was he reckons if we switched managers, David Moyes went to Leicester and Brendan Rodgers came to West Ham, we'd transform for a year. They'd both be good for the opposing clubs. That's what he said, and I think that's right. Yeah, because I think that sometimes change is just needed in modern football. I think change is needed. But
your lifespan, Premier League managers.
Yeah. I think so. But anyway, David, that was a great call, mate. Thank you very much for phoning in.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nick. Thank you. And can I just say to you that I love Claret and Booze.
Thank you, mate.
I love it. It's really good. Okay, God bless you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
What about more than just a podcast, Dave? Do you listen to that?
Sorry?
More than just a podcast. Who?
I watch it on YouTube. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I love Nick's passion.
Yeah, but
Nick's passion is very good.
But I must admit, it is a good podcast, mate. More than just a podcast. If you do you listen to podcasts?
No, I don't, but I'll have to.
I
will.
They're free. It's free, just like YouTube. Give it a listen. It's good.
Okay, God bless you. Okay,
all right.
Take care. Good luck here. Bye. Thanks.
All right, cheers, mate. See you later.
What an old romantic, taking his missus to West Ham. Fucking hell.
Right, now we're going to get Taz of Tasmania.
Who?
Tez. Do you remember Taz? Phoned in once before.
No, I don't.
I'm going to give you all a disclaimer. He swore a lot last time.
All
right, hang on.
Are we putting ourselves through this for a long time?
What do you mean?
Oh, I need a piss.
No. Is it, mate? Another
long walk back to the house.
Another couple of calls and we're done.
Hello,
Taz. You all right, mate? Taz? Quick disclaimer: no C-bombs.
No, that's fine.
No C-bombs today. You can F and Jeff, but no C-bombs.
No, that's fine.
How are you, mate? Are you all right?
Yeah, all right. I suppose,
Is he breaking into a bank?
Yeah, there's an alarm going off. Have we interrupted you mid-heist?
I'm on GTA.
Oh, you Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah. Nick, I need to apologise to you for the texts that you got the other day.
What's that?
Oh, I thought it was on the Xbox. I thought it was on Messenger on Xbox, but I was actually texting you.
That's fine, mate. I don't get.
You might have got a couple of weird messages.
I don't get messages during the night anyway, mate. But anyway, Taz, what would you like to talk about, mate?
Right, couple of things. Was Moyes lied to us all? He turned around and said to us all that he's got a 5-year plan and this, that, and the other. Well, we're 3 years into it now, and he said that we deserve to be where we are, 11-2. Right? We are where we deserve to be. Well, number one, that's a 5-year plan you're talking about. And number two, he also said that he's buying players to make, he's buying better players than the players we have. So what you're saying is you're buying... we've got shit players, so what you're buying is other shit players that are better shit players than the shit players we've got. because we deserve to be where we are at the moment, 3 years into your 5-year plan.
Yeah.
We basically ain't moved anywhere, and you're saying that, you know, we did. Well, where the fucking hell are the last 2 years going to come from that we're going to blow up into Europe and sort of like, you know, everything's going to come out hunky-dory?
Look. The plan has obviously fallen to the plan has obviously fallen to pieces.
The other one thing I'm getting sick and tired of hearing from him is every effing podcast he does. Oh, when Sir Alex Ferguson phoned me and told me I'm going to be the manager of Man United. Well, stop going on about it. You done fuck all there.
I know.
I mean, what? It's kind of like he because he got that call. That's it. He's the best manager in the world because Alex Ferguson sort of like gave him his job.
He does purr over it. I mean, when you listen to the well, I did listen to what's the name of the guy? You know, the Apprentice bloke. I've forgotten his name now. You know, the first one that he.
Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah, the Bartlett interview.
That's not the only one he's been on. Every interview he does, he talks about how Alex Ferguson told him. And he's sort of like, for fuck's sake, we've heard this 101 times. You don't need to hear it anymore. Move on. You've done nothing there. You moved on from that. You've done nothing there, and there. You actually had 2 years of success with us. And you just reverted back to your same old shit.
Yeah. No, I know, mate.
It's kind of like he changes the tactics for one game. He's like, yeah, but if I revert back to my old tactics, they won't work out the next game. They think the new tactics are the thing that's going on, and it's not the sort of like the tactics I used to do, so I'll catch them out.
No,
I know that way.
No, I know. But look, listen. I think this is my take on the Moyes project, right? I think we overachieved quicker than he would have liked, probably. I do feel like he slammed the brakes on in January because I don't think he felt like we was ready for the level that we was creeping towards. That's why we didn't go out and buy the players that we needed to buy. I'm not saying that he's reset us and he wanted to be in a relegation battle, but I don't know. I think I think with David Moyes, I think we ran before we could walk. Would you say that's about right with him?
No one, even Sullivan when they employed him, no one expected him. No one expected him to
None
do
of
what
us
he did.
None of us expected the seasons that we had, them 2 years that we had. No one expected that, right? Yeah. So just as much as David Moyes didn't realise, we didn't realise, the players didn't realise. But you know what? Fuck all that shit. You've got to keep that standard now. You've made that. Not us. It wasn't us. It was them. Mm. That group of players, that manager, that team of sort of like coaches and everything all had that connection.
Yeah.
That made that work.
I know.
Teams and managers do have cycles. They all have life cycles. And unfortunately for us, ours seems to have, gone quicker than it came. And I think it's just, it's going to look in the summer. When Moyes does go, we're going to have a massive overhaul of that club again. It all starts again in the summer.
And Moyes is halfway through his fucking 5-year plan now. He knows that all this reset has got to happen again this season. Why didn't he?
It's going to happen without him because he ain't going to be here next season, is he?
He won't be.
Oh, no. But he's going to be here until the end of the season.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Sullivan ain't going to get rid of him. He ain't going to get, no matter what happens, he ain't going to get rid of him.
I refuse to allow myself to believe that, Taz.
I agree with Taz.
I hate to think of it, but the truth is, Sullivan ain't going to pay no compensation to get rid of Moyes, to sort of like then go and fucking get someone else in that might not come.
Yeah.
No.
And it's like what other callers have said. They've already said they're looking for David Moyes to replace David Moyes. So who are you going to get?
Yeah.
I agree.
As much as we don't want him, he's here. No matter what we do, say, or anything, none of that matters. This is down to Sullivan. This is the players themselves, right? Need to say, fuck Moyes, we need to do this. We're devaluing ourselves. We owe these fans something. Week in, week out, at the beginning of every game, they give it their all to us. And we fucking let them down week in, week out until we win.
Yeah, no, mate.
And then they get on our backs. But they've got every fucking right. They've had to travel hundreds of miles to come and fucking watch, like, lose fucking 1-0 or 4-0 or 3-0 or... Hang on a minute. You know what I mean? It's all right for you. You're getting your coach and all this, but people are fucking paying the good money to go and support the team that they fucking support. And it's just... You know what I mean?
I know, mate. Man. I know. It is...
I can't be bothered today. I can't be bothered to play football. Well, fuck you.
I know, mate. I know. But anyway, Taz, some very good points, mate. I agree with everything that you've said, to be quite honest. I mean, it's all the one thing is right,
what it is. David Moyes is going to come. He's going to go. Players going to come. Going to go.
Yeah.
We are the mainstay of this club.
Yeah, the fans are always there. We're the ever present.
So owners are going to come and going to go, but it's us that are the mainstay. We are the product of the club, because without us, there is no club.
Yes, no, mate, no. Well, I don't know. I mean, the trouble is, I don't know whether that changed through lockdown. I don't know whether there is as much. I know they like to sell season tickets. I know they like full stadiums. But do you think they care as much now about the paying customer, Nigel, as what they used to care, or do you think they really do?
Yeah,
hang on, Taz, 1 minute. Taz, 1 minute, 1 minute.
I think they care about the paying customer as much as they used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they get less from us now.
Hold up, but they thought fuck all of us anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what all they care about is how many people turn up. You know, because if you look at it, the reason why we've got 62,000 seats, and those that go to games know there ain't 62,000 people in the ground. We know there ain't 50, there's probably 55 to 50,000 people. Why do we need these extra seats? Just so they can say we got the biggest ground in London. That is the only reason.
Not even that.
Why they've done it, and that just shows you the level. They want something to lord over, and all we can lord over these people is, we got a bigger ground than you.
But what does that get them? What does that achieve, Nigel?
Fuck all.
So
but
don't you tell me?
Yeah, but don't you? Yeah, but John, don't you think it's all posturing with them? It's like going out buying the marquee signing. They like to make these statements, don't they?
Well,
he's a flash fucker, Sullivan, isn't
he? Yeah. Well, I look. 75% of it stems from Brady. I was talking to someone at the ground yesterday who said, you know, I've been saying it for years. When I started saying Brady out, donkeys years ago, people should have gone up to Brady. She's a weak link because she's a club employee. And going GSB out, you're never going to get owners. You know, when managers get stick, when fans turn on managers, the managers get sacked. When fans turn on owners, the managers get sacked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fans get sacked
themselves. So,
what I would say is, is there any logic or psychology to what David Moyes? Because you know something, it ain't the first time that he's done it, and this is where I think the West Ham fan base may be changing a little bit, Nigel, because we all know how the West Ham fans reacted to Sam Allardyce's ear cupping. But now this is not the first time that David Moyes has called out the fans. And do you know something?
Yeah.
I don't think. But what I mean is, I don't think there even will be a reaction at the London Stadium. I don't, because I don't think they will. Not like you would think. Not like we got at the away game, because I think the West Ham fan base has been diluted in that place, and you're never ever going to get everyone joined up anymore.
Look, I don't know how far down the road I want to go. Has the fan base changed in my thing? Yes, it has. It has. You know, but then again, at Upton Park, this is how it used to be. At Upton Park, they'd have 22,000 season ticket holders, and that's what they had. Yeah. We only got 26,000 which was a sellout. They stopped selling at 26,000 for the last season, and we also hit that the season after we won the FA Cup, and that was Tevez's season. We nearly went down then.
Yeah.
And then it slid away, and it fell back when the Icelandics bought and everything back down to the 22,000 mark. Now we've got. I think we're down to 48,000 season ticket holders. It was up as high as 50 odd, but the club have been cutting back because they realise they make more money
selling individual tickets
because they know season ticket holders pay a cheaper price, and a lot of them don't turn up. They do know that, so they've actually reduced.
At the beginning, they used to fill it up with corporate.
Well,
to make it look good,
and they used to give it away to the local community as well.
Well,
that was just to make it look good, to make it look full.
Yeah, they've always give away.
But let me
Upton Park.
Let me frame the question differently. Paul Sullivan has. I'll put it up on the screen with the crap that David Moyes has been coming out with just recently. Say he said what he said, and we've got Aston Villa at Upton Park. What would David Moyes be walking into at a typical Upton Park game? Nigel?
Oh, mate, he would have been feeling the full force. Allardyce. Let's remember when Allardyce cuts his ear, people. That was after winning a game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and we let him know what we thought of him. And the fact is that there was probably about 30,000 there that night. Now we got double that. Or at least another 50-60% on top of that. But because of the layout of the ground and the fan base and everything else, it's
not the same, is it?
No, it ain't the same. It ain't the same. Upton Park is the Brexit for West Ham of what Brexit is to the United Kingdom. It is split the fan base right down the middle.
Is it really though?
Yeah, well, I think this is a perfect example, John. There won't be all you'll get if we play shit and we lose against Aston Villa. You get the odd boo at half time. It'll be quiet. It'll be dead quiet. It'll just be shit. It'll just be an.
Yeah, but
John, loads of West Ham fans that will go in every week in and week out to Upton Park. Yeah,
don't go now.
Anymore. Yeah, and that's the thing. So what we're basically left with. You had an hardcore of 20-odd thousand that would turn up to every West Ham game at Upton Park.
Yeah.
That's probably down to 15,000 of that hardcore. So therefore, you're now looking at 30-odd thousand West Ham fans that were. You got to try and think of it. I don't want to slander them or whatever, but they were people that would cherry pick the games that they went to.
Right. Yeah.
But now at London Stadium, it was marketed so well. At the end of the day, the football's been as bad as it's ever been at London Stadium, and we're still getting 50-odd thousand people to turn up and watch it.
Yeah,
that's down to marketing.
It is down to marketing. It's down to cheap ticketing. Cheap ticketing as well.
I pay £300. I pay £330 for my season ticket. Band 5. I won't give them a penny, and I'll do it. I won't give them a penny. In 1997, my season ticket on the Chicken Run was £350.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, bloody hell.
Fucking hell. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Well, there you go. There you go. That is fucking
But the
hell.
other coin of the fish, quickly.
Coin of the fish?
What's that fucking saying?
Coin of the fish, anyway. Have you seen a fish with a coin? There you go. So you can keep that one and use it anytime you like, people. And it's like that, as I've just said. But anyway, the other side of the coin is, my mate across the road to me, he owns 50% of a Spurs season ticket. Yeah. That 50% cost him what I paid for my two adults at London Stadium.
Yeah, no, it's obscene.
So I've got 200% a ticket in for and he don't sit.
I've got because obviously I know loads of fucking Spurs fans around here, and some of them pay for like you'll go a dad and his two sons. They pay thousands.
Yeah, 1,200 quid.
Fucking thousands.
And this is at the back.
Number one, Tottenham have got a world-class stadium. Number two, they're in Champions League, if not you.
But they're still playing shit football. They're still playing shit football.
I'm not having this a world-class football stadium.
Well, I don't
It is,
agree with
John.
it either, but
It's
it's been classed, though. It's been classed. But it's been classed as that. Do you know what I mean? Me and you might think the same thing, but it's
Even
been
that
classed
scaffolding is shit.
yeah.
even our cable ties are plastic. We don't even use the metal ones. Fucking hell.
Listen, you can always see if Tottenham lose, you can always see Harry Kane outside licking on a window or two. But yeah, it's with us. It's kind of like, you know, I remember being a steward at Upton Park when we dropped down to the Championship. The attendance has dropped to half.
Yeah.
You'd see a half-empty stadium. So like, where have you got?
Oh yeah, you're the steward. I remember that.
That's
Sorry,
right. Yeah,
Taz.
Taz was a steward at Upton Park.
Yeah.
In North Stand.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what happened when we got relegated. It done me a favour because it meant I moved out of the East Stand then, and then when we got relegated, I actually bought the cheapest season ticket in the West Upper, and I got to sit behind the directors because no fucker was there.
I'll tell you what.
I used to walk to the middle and just sit down behind the fucking directors.
I'll tell you. Over the past 10 years. Go on,
to
mate.
us, that was state of the art. That West Stand to us was state of the art. It's sort of like stand. That was just, oh look, that's magical.
Nigel, what would you have given during the Sam Allardyce days to have had that fucking seat behind the director's box? I bet you'd love that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No, I think he would rather have the seat behind the bloody dugout, wouldn't he?
I know. But anyway, but Taz, thank you very much for your call, mate. We're going to make our last call now because it is running on. Thank you very much for the call, and I'll speak to you again soon.
One quick thing, right? Nick, I would have you as manager because John, you'd probably be out in your cabs, and then fucking what's it to be out?
John's too John's too divery. He's too divery, isn't he? You know, he's
Hang on a minute. Did you win? Hang on. Did you win today, Nick?
I actually didn't today. That's 2 in a row. Do you know we're out of the cup? And do you know what happened as well?
2 in a row.
I've lost 2 in a row. But you know what happened as well, right? It was a fucking brilliant. I must admit, it was a brilliant game. It all booted off. So we went. It was 1-0, 2-1. Ended up it was 4-2. There was 10 minutes left. We got a goal. It was 4-3. They started fucking time wasting from their kickoff. Like they started, one of their players fucking under 14s felt his hamstring in the centre circle. Right, he was doing that. It all booted off. It booted off with my but my coach, one of the dads, fucking started booting off with their manager. They had to be pulled apart. And then it just cascaded. There was a punch up at full time. It was brutal. It was brutal. Honestly, it weren't good. But no, I must admit, I'm proud of them. No, we played well today. That was a good team that we played as well.
I'm sure the boys put up a massive fight. But listen, don't skate around the facts. You've lost 2 out of 2. Right?
He starts manager of the month. He's not on. He's not on the cards.
That's literally in 18 months. I was undefeated, and then in the fucking last 2 weeks, I've lost 2 games.
Boy, Taz.
Yeah.
Do you want to rethink your West Ham manager thing, mate, or what?
Mate, come on. Don't you worry about it. That's
too busy driving all the players.
Listen, I'm not being funny. If you'd have watched it today, you'd have been proud of them. There was a lot of fight on that pitch. It was nothing like West Ham versus Brighton.
What was the scoreline?
4-3.
Oh, well,
was it like
you need to put up a fight.
I know, 4-3.
I'll back you, mate. If you can lose 4-3, I'm happy.
Was it anything like Haaland yesterday with City?
No, well, it was a divisional cup. It was a divisional cup, so it was against a team that we drew the opening game of the season. We've beaten one, so we've taken 4 points off them in the league, but they've gone and done us. They've gone and done us in the cup, the fuckers.
There's a lot of people, Nick. There's a lot of people, mate. There's a lot of people jumping on the bandwagon.
Oh, fuck off, you lot.
Irish
Nick, did your team's like YouTube channel like put a donkey head on you? Like,
mate, no donkey for me. I'll tell you. Listen, it was my tactical changes that got us back into the game.
Honestly, not the players.
No.
How far back into the game did you get? Did you still end up losing it?
We did.
Still the same.
We did. I called all the players out after the game as well. I literally I stood them all in a row and I explained to the parents.
By the way,
that, that's what I did.
On Abby's chat, Nick, is that Gonzo would love to come on your show.
Who's that?
Gonzo, he'd love to come on your show.
Oh, he knows where we are. He knows where we are. He's more than welcome to come on.
Yeah, but I think he's waiting for you to reach out to him, I think.
No, well, yeah.
He said in one of the Aaron's chat videos the other day, he said to her, I'd love to go on that show. I love Nick and Gary and all that.
Yeah, Charles, Nick don't reach out. Nick don't reach out. He reaches
He knows
around.
that Gio's been on, but he's like, I'd love to be on that, you know.
Fucking Garino, look, Nick doing, what's that? What's Garino said here? Nick doing a Moyes saying, yeah, but look at what I did 2 years ago. Fuck off, Garino. I'm still a bit sore, all right? I'm still a bit sore. I'm reeling. I've been left reeling from earlier on.
18 months.
Nick, how long do we give it, though, till we can justifiably ask for you to be sacked?
Well, but going by David Moyes, I've got about 18 months of losses. I could lose for the next 18 months and I'd still be all right.
No, Nick's got a 5-year plan that he can go through first.
I could lose 30. I could lose fucking 40 games in a row and I'd still be in a job.
Exactly. There you go.
But look, anyway, Taz, thank you very much for the call, mate.
Conversation. All right, boys. You take care of yourselves.
Cheers,
Have a
mate.
good night.
See you later.
See you
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Nick out. Hang on.
Nick out. I
Nick
thought you
out.
was quiet about today's result. Every time you don't say nothing, I think there's been a problem there.
Well, as is.
I look forward to the videos from the don't you?
No,
film
we've
the
got
games?
no. That's only on. They've got one VO camera that they use that
Yeah.
they share around the team. So we've got that next weekend. So hopefully we'll have a
So
win.
next
Hopefully
weekend's
we'll have a win.
defeat, we get to watch.
Won't be a defeat, mate. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that.
Nick stands on the sideline like Malcolm Anderson. A big coat, big hat.
Yeah,
Nixon
but Malcolm
denied.
Allison got to jump in a bath with a bird with her tits out as well after a game.
Don't tell Nick's wife, for fuck's sake.
Hello there, Irish Tommy. How are you? Hello.
From the will to live. How are you, Nick?
I'm very well, mate. Thanks for waiting, mate. I know it's been a while. You are our last call. You're closing our show. You're helping us close the show.
Thanks for calling. See you later.
Thanks. Don't you fucking listen to Nigel. He's mean. He's mean.
No, he's all right. I tell you what, though, we're on the same page when it comes to Allardyce. I'll tell you that.
Oh, well, are you an Allardyce hater as well?
I hate Sam Allardyce with a passion. I won't lie.
Yeah. Tommy, who's worse, Moyes or Allardyce?
I know Tommy hates Moyes.
Yeah, I hate. I don't know. No, I'll tell you what. It's a little bit different. I'm pissed off with Moyes. I don't like the style of play. I do want him sacked, but there's just something about Allardyce. The guy just as a personality, as a character, that just rubs me up the wrong way and always has. And I've always just despised him. I don't think I could say I despise Moyes. I don't think I could say that.
I'll say that for you. I hate it.
Says it for everyone, yeah.
It just rubbed me up the wrong way from day one, to be honest, and still does. Whenever I see him on TV, I want to rip my arm off just so I have something to fucking throw at it.
Yeah, no. Well, look, he is Marmite, isn't he? I mean, Allardyce. He is, but the thing is, what you got to say about Allardyce is he is what he is. He doesn't pretend to be anything different. He is a bit of a prick, you know. And that is him. He's a big brash character. But, and I'm sure Nigel, you will have heard this as well. I think the difference is with Sam Allardyce and these teams. I think the players actually liked him.
Well,
he was good. Yeah, he was good in the changing room. And did Sam ever come out?
Yeah, Ravel Morrison speaks very highly of him.
Fucking Ravel Morrison.
Of course they liked him. Yeah, of course they liked him, because why wouldn't they like him? He'd tell him, win this game on Saturday. We got no training until Thursday.
Is this true? I heard this the other day. Is it true that he used to give him?
Yeah, but that's motivational, isn't it? That's
Did he used to give him? Did he used to give him holidays, like 2 days holiday if they won games?
Noble said it on the Ben Foster.
Yeah, but he ain't the only manager. A lot of managers used to do that.
That's brilliant.
Harry used to give him an extra day
Noble
off.
even, yeah. So Noble even went to him like cheekily, one day, whatever it was, on the Thursday or Friday before the game at the weekend. It was like, "So, boss, if we win the weekend, we'll see you next Thursday, yeah?" And he was like, "Yeah, go on then."
Oh, really?
So that's no wonder they loved him.
But you know what? Isn't football, in terms of football, is just about winning? If that gets your team motivated and you start winning games, what's the problem with it?
Yeah, I agree.
You know, especially at the moment. Do you reckon?
Oh yeah, I don't. I'm saying yeah. Look, I'm whatever works. But I'm just saying, you know, they probably no wonder they loved him. You know.
Do you think David Moyes would ever give his players a day off for a win?
No, I wouldn't think so. No, I wouldn't see that happening.
He'd dock their their wages. That's what he'd do. That's what he'd do. But anyway, something. What would you like to talk about?
To be honest with you, I mean, I was fuming after the game yesterday. It took me a while to calm down, if I'm honest. I was absolutely livid with that. That was completely unacceptable. I know it's a bit cliche, but at West Ham, I do like to see effort, and probably every set of fans does. I don't think any fans of any club want to see their players roll over, and I think that's really what we did yesterday. I think our players rolled over, in my opinion, and that's kind of the worst thing you can do from a fan perspective. You know, because we bleed for that jersey, you know, and then when you see players roll over, that will always get us angry. So I was pretty livid yesterday, but I've obviously had a bit of time to calm down now, and I'm settling back into my apathy, which is what I've been feeling for a while now. There's just a kind of air of inevitability that Moyes will be here next game. You know, he's going to
be. Yeah, he will be.
Yeah, I'm just at the point now. Is like if that doesn't get him sacked, what will? You know, it was so abject, and he's still here and still got the backing of Sullivan. So, and the problem for me is, apart from the fact that we might get relegated, and we could survive. I'm not going to sit here and say we're definitely getting relegated under Moyes. We could scrape by. We could finish 16th, 17th, whatever. But the sad thing for me is that I think we actually, with the squad of players we've got, actually have got a real chance at the Conference League, player for player. And I just have absolutely no belief whatsoever.
You're right, Tom. If Wrexham can fucking piss it this season, then we can piss the conference as well.
But I must admit, I am with Tommy on that. I've been saying it the whole way through. I know you keep on saying, Nigel, and this is Nigel. You're someone who loves a cup. You want a cup, and this is but what I'm saying to you is, I just think that David Moyes isn't going to win you a cup. I think he's just not going to.
Nick don't think Moyes has got the minerals at all.
No, I don't think he's going to win you a cup. I think you got more chance of fucking Nolan winning you a cup than Moyes. At this stage now, with the last 14 games, and we are where we are, I don't know, mate.
I'll tell you what.
I hark back to that Frankfurt game, mate. You saw what happened now.
But hang on, you're talking about the second leg. We've blown it in the first leg, and we had a go in the first leg, and it didn't come up, and we were, on the other side of a crossbar from being a 2-all.
It was so weak.
And yes, away at the moment, it was always going to be difficult. I think if we'd have had the away leg first, I think it might have been different. And I do believe that. But anyway, and Eintracht Frankfurt have shown how good a team they are, Nick, because they're still in the Champions League. They're hanging on by the thread. But they'll probably get knocked out next week, I think, or this week as it is now. So, but they're still there. So they've shown what a good team they are. But the fact is, when he come here, he said he wanted to make history, and by hook or by crook, he still could do it. And I get, it's not a glamour European trophy, but there's 3 European trophies up for grabs. And when there used to be the European Cup, the Cup Winners' Cup, and the UEFA Cup was the third level one. Well, we'd have been pleased to have won it. Yeah. British teams did used to win it. So actually, any cup that you win in Europe is hard fought and won for, and you can only beat the teams put in front of you. And if they ain't good enough, they ain't good enough, and we win the trophy and we put it up.
Can I ask you something? Because I know what your answer is to this as well, Nigel. What would you rather win, the Europa Conference League or the League Cup or the FA Cup? Well, what would be the bottom? What would be the bottom of the list? What would be the bottom of the list in that? In terms of preference.
In terms of preference, the Europa.
Yeah. Now, what is the big fuss about the Europa League then? Because we're in the League Cup. We're in the League Cup and the FA Cup every fucking year.
Yeah.
So what is the big deal about this Europa Conference
Well,
League?
you got the fans that like the away day travel, didn't you? And as you can see, you know, when you take the support that we have, and bearing in mind, as it gets to the end, we've got more fans outside the ground than we have in with tickets. Yeah, that just shows you. But that's because what happens is that when you're a club as big as West Ham are, yeah, when you look at, and this is the thing I keep harking back to, you look at this top 25 European clubs that they bring out, Forbes list or Deloitte Touche's, West Ham's in around the 20th mark sometimes, yeah. Yet you look at us and you look at the clubs that are around us and below us. These are clubs that play European competitions year in, year out. Yeah, we don't. These are clubs that have won league titles and trophies galore in their own divisions. West Ham hasn't.
Yeah.
That highlights what a fucking underperforming shower of shite we are, to be honest. But that's the club I fell in love with, so I will embrace underperforming shower of shite. Yeah, I know what we are, and I accept it when we don't reach it. Don't mean I don't want to, you know, but if I'm picking trophies, I want to win the FA Cup. That's what I want to fucking win. That's why I pay £300 for a Chinese.
Yeah, but the problem with that now, Nigel, is that Premier League has become the god now, isn't it, for everyone? The Premier League is the kind of be all and end all, and that's the tragedy for me, because I think as West Ham fans, I think we've always been very reasonable in our expectations. I don't think we've ever asked for too much or expected too much. I think we're pretty grounded as a fan base, and you know, for me, the Premier League is great to be in. You know, you get to play these games against the Uniteds and Liverpools and all this every year. Great. But for me, like, despite the promises that were made when they were pushing through the move, you know, the world class players in the world class stadium and Champions League football, and like, I think we'd forgive them for not achieving that. I think for me, and maybe you guys feel different, I'd be interested to get your thoughts on this. But for me, if we were like steady in the Premier League every season, you know, maybe a top half or mid-table or so, but the manager came out and said, look, we're going to absolutely rightly have a go at the Cups every year, because we're not going to win the Premier League. It's just not going to happen. And the odds of us finishing in a Champions League spot are exceedingly small. And so if we were mid-table team every year, thereabouts, and we were having a right go at the Cups, I mean, a right go, really, really trying to win them every season, then we may have a little bit of success there. And I'd be delighted to hear a manager say that. I remember Pardew did. Pardew, I mean, he went absolutely all out for that FA Cup, and he almost got it.
Yeah.
And we were very unlucky not to win that FA Cup. If we could do that every season, finish, you know, fairly well in the league, where we're not looking over our shoulder like we are this season, and really going for it and trying to win the domestic cups, which of course get you into Europe. And if we do have a good season where we happen to qualify for, say, Conference League, you know, just really have a go at it, and because that's all we've really for us realistically, is to try and win a cup some year. I know it's still difficult to do, but I'd love for us to actually, as a club, really, really just try to do that. And I don't see that that's really been the case, because it's all about, the Premier League, Premier League, Premier League.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I'll go to John on this, but my thoughts are, I would take mid-table, but not mid-table mediocrity, mid-table batshit crazy West Ham of old, who go out there and try and beat anyone. We try and play our football, you know, almost like, to a degree, you know, if you look at the way that Leeds play now, you know, they'll go out and they'll play the same way against everyone. You'll have a go at them. You'll have a go at the opposition. You try and play good football. And I would take that. And yeah, for me, I would take mid-table, providing we weren't doing what we're doing at the moment to earn that mid-table spot, trying to play football and trying to go for the cups. Absolutely. That would see me happy, you know, because football's all about memory. So if you can have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a season where you've had a fucking great night, you know, you're going to beat Arsenal at home, you know, you might have lost to Palace and whoever else and had a few bastard nights, but as long as you've got memories and there's been some good nights and stuff like that, that's what football's all about for me. And pick a memory from this season. There ain't one. You know,
No.
it's
And-
awful.
and-
So
And
go on,
look,
John.
me and you, Nick, we've never seen West Ham win anything. Nigel
No,
has,
no,
'cause
no.
he's a bit older.
No.
So our memories are few and far between, and our memories are one-off games. You know, we've said it before. Ipswich semi-final up the park. You know, very few. You know, losing the FA Cup, being there, we lost that FA Cup, but it was one of the best but worst days of my life rolled into one.
Yeah.
And it sounds ridiculous, but you don't expect a lot as a West Ham fan, and it's not because you're not. You know, it's not because you're apathetic or you're accepting of us.
No.
It's just because you're not used to it. It's in your DNA to not expect too much. However, I do to some extent believe, you know, Nigel said about new fans coming in and things like that, because of our relative success by West Ham standards with Moyes over the last 2 years, I think some of the fan base do have over-exaggerated expectations to some extent. That's all I would say. I'm not pointing fingers at people, but I'm just saying.
No, but I think that's the mentality of football supporters in general now.
Yes.
You know, you got your mates that support these clubs and they're winning anything. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, you know, you want to be that club. And unfortunately, because
Once
you've
in my
chosen
life.
West Ham, you know, you ain't. I'm sorry. We ain't.
But Nigel, do you think there is an element of, as well as Tommy alluded to earlier on, do you think a lot of it's because, look, we are stubborn, proud fans, you know, especially the legacy supporters. We all are, but the ones when you factor in, we gave up our home, whether we could have done more about it, from whether we did swallow the lies, this, that, the other, but we were promised something. And do you not think that they're being held to account?
Oh, look, we'll have to sit down perhaps when we've got 2 weeks for no football and Gary's still in Florida. I can bore you all up with it. But at the end of the day, you know, they said certain things to get people on board, and people wanted to believe it. Of course they did, because they were starved of success. And what happened is they'd seen what happened to Man City, who had also moved into an athletic stadium, got bought by our, and they thought, well, that could be us next. Yeah, and guess what? They went and bought Newcastle people. It ain't us next. It's never us.
No.
Yeah, we are the ugly sisters of Cinderella.
Unfashionable. Are we still unfashionable, do you think?
Well, my argument as well is that what happened is that you see what happened with Arsenal moving to the Emirates, 60,000, everything else. You know, Chelsea were planning it, Tottenham were planning it, and if we'd have been, I maintain, I said it before, if we'd have stayed at Upton Park, a lot of the fan base would have looked at people like me and said, "You're the fucking Luddite that held us back."
Probably, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And the fact that we moved and it turned into the shit fest I said it was, is probably better for me, but actually it's worse, because the one thing I really wanted to be was wrong.
Yeah, I know. Well, we all do.
Yeah.
It's like when I come in here and I rant and rave and this, that, the other, I don't want to be right
No.
when I'm saying fucking we're going to get relegated or he's going to fail with this, that, the other. Ultimately, we all want the same thing for West Ham. You know,
Yeah, but that's why when Nigel comes out with, "I don't want a manager to get sacked," people take that as him saying, "I don't want Moyes to get sacked."
Yeah.
But he relates a manager being sacked to West Ham being shit in the league, and that's a direct relation, and that's why he says it.
But also, I do come from the time, you know, as a kid where we never sacked our managers. And you know, I can point to the times where manager, and I get it's a different kettle of fish now and whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, John Lyall's first 3 or 4 years of managing West Ham was something like 15th, 19th, when it was 22 that went, you know, 22, 21, 20 went down, you know, before we finished 21st, I think we finished, or 20th, and got relegated. You know, John Lyall never finished above 15th in the first 3 years of managing West Ham.
Yeah.
You know, we sacked him, we went down. He didn't come straight back up. We didn't sack him. They let him tear the team apart. And guess what? We had then 6 of our best ever years. So there's always that bit of me that clings to that, rightly or wrongly, to think, well, actually, do you know what? David Moyes at Everton, when he went there, kept him up, got them to 5th, and then finished 17th. I know. They didn't sack him, and then they never finished below 11.
But Nigel.
Yeah, but Nigel, I suppose, you know, back then, Nigel getting relegated from Division 1 to Division 2, the repercussions were not the same as they are now.
No,
you know,
no, and I think- and
obviously
that's the
there's so
thing.
much money in the game now.
Yeah, no, I did look. You know, getting relegated out of Division 1 into Division 2 financially wasn't different much. Because tell you what, the big match cameras still turned up and showed us.
Yeah.
It ain't like that now. There's going to be 100 million shortfall. Proper people, the people that work for a living at the club, and I don't mean the footballers, you know, the people that earn 50% in a year what the players get in a week, loads of them will lose their jobs. You know, it will decimate the club, but does it stop me watching them? No. And so therefore I go, well, do you know what? What will be, will be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think, Nigel? I'm obviously not going to ask you, will we win the conference, because that's impossible to say, and it's too strong of a statement to put your cards on the table that much. But I mean, like I've said a few minutes ago, like, I genuinely do not believe Moyes is the kind of manager that can actually take us all the way in that competition and actually win it for us. Are you more hopeful than me, or do you share that?
Yeah,
kind
no,
of view?
I look at it and I see two teams standing in our way. Yeah, Fiorentina and Lazio. And as we've seen recently, it's all about
Villarreal as well.
Villarreal and Nice are in there too.
Yeah.
But Seville were top side, and we have shown, and I know it was last season and everything else, but if you look at the teams we beat in the Premier League last season and the teams we beat in the Europa League last season, we beat 6 teams that played in the Champions League last season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, I do believe that we can beat on a day a Lazio or a Fiorentina or a Villarreal. But I'll tell you what we need. We need the luck of the draw that we only face one of them in the final and not on the way.
Well, we got the luck. We got the luck of the draw with this round.
Yeah.
I mean, Larnaca are the weakest team in it. Well, from what I know of, I'd say they're probably the weakest.
So that gets us to quarter final. You get a kind
so then you're 4 games
draw
from a final.
You know, you can see the luck of the draw. Look at Man United, 10 draws at home on the trot.
Mate, I know.
You know, 2 of them against us. You know, we've been knocked out of 4 cups in the past 6 years by Man United.
Nigel,
that's unlucky.
Nigel, that can't be luck, can it? I'm not. I'm not for conspiracy. No, but it can't be. That's fucking bollocks, mate. No, but it is a bit weird, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but United ain't the favourites anymore, are they?
Chelsea had it for a while. You know, it's just, and that's why it's a bit gut wrenching when you look at the teams left in the FA Cup quarterfinals now. You know, and you think we outplayed Man United. You know, if we could have got that second goal, Antonio, and this is the things I can. Yeah, if he'd have done that, if we'd have gone 2-0 up, I think we'd have won that game.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just so close. But why did we have to get Man United? Why couldn't we have got Grimsby?
I know, but the problem is, Nigel, the problem for me with that is Moyes never beats those teams. And
yeah, well,
does it really matter
who did
if
we
we
knock
draw
out
in
of the League Cup?
Does it really matter if we draw? Does it really matter if we draw Man United in the 3rd round, quarter-final, semi-final, or meet them in the final?
Tom, who did we knock out in the League
them.
Cup last year? Who was the manager when we knocked out Man United in the League Cup at Old Trafford last season? Because the last time I looked, it was David Moyes. So all this about it can't happen, it never happens and whatever, well, it did. And I get it was only once, and I know he ain't won there in the league, but he went there in the cup and he done it. So, yes, it is possible with David Moyes. You know, but sod's law with West Ham. You know, we knocked Man United out of the cup. Yeah, then we get Man City. Fuck me, we gotta knock them out of the cup. The cup they'd won 4 years running. We knocked them out of the cup on penalties. And then what happened?
Yeah, but I mean, like, but you're asking to at worst to draw one of them along the way, but it's unlikely you'll only get one of those teams along the way. If you're going to win one of these cups, you're going to very likely play more than just Man United or just.
I think that's why.
You probably will run into more than one of them.
But Nigel, I think that's why for us. Look, we all accept that the Premier League is the league. You know, that's the competition, even more so than Europe. And that's why I think it does kind of mean more to win a domestic cup in England than it does, because you have to beat the fucking best.
Yeah, but what have I said about the Conference League? That's the easiest cup to win.
Yeah,
and the reason why it's
I know.
the easiest cup to win because we ain't got fucking Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, or Chelsea standing in our way.
I know. But anyway, Tommy,
And we still won't win it.
But Tommy, one last point, mate, before we go. Go on. What would you like to close the show on before we go? Go on. One last discussion point. You got anything?
I suppose the only other thing is just the utter confusion at this loyalty that Sullivan is showing to Moyes. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. He'd have been well within his rights to sack him long before now. He certainly could have Moyes could have no complaints whatsoever if he gets sacked. And given, that we've been in this situation all season long, we've been battling at the bottom of the table all season long.
Oh, yeah, all season.
And we're still there. It completely baffles me why Sullivan is willing to roll the dice.
Do you want to know
on the
my
future
theory
of
behind
West
that?
Ham for David Moyes?
For about 1 or 2 weeks, we've been in the bottom 3.
No.
It's a psychological position. I'm talking with David Sullivan.
But with David Sullivan. But the fact is, we've been in this group, in this pack all season.
I've not disagreed that. But what I'm saying is, psychologically, if you're sitting in the bottom 3, there's more pressure on them. And then I think if we'd have been sitting where Everton were, for a good few weeks, or Bournemouth or Southampton, he would have gone.
Yeah.
Now the mad thing about it is, Southampton are 1 point behind us.
Yeah.
Nah, and this is the thing, But guess what? They're only 6 points behind Crystal Palace, who are sitting 12th.
Yeah.
It is a mad league this season down at the bottom. There are 9 teams in relegation trouble. 3 are going to go.
Well, you said to me the other week, Nick, when we was predicting about relegation teams, you said about Palace. You and Gary brought up Palace, and I was like, "No, they're all right.
They're getting sucked in. They're getting sucked in.
Been right sucked in.
Yeah, big time. I know.
Shocking.
Well, 5 points off the bottom 3, Palace.
Yeah, well, it's 9 teams. It's 9 teams now in that. It is a bizarre season. It really is.
And we thought Leicester had pulled away as well. Remember, and they've come back into it now.
I know. Well, the fuck knows what's going to happen this year. But anyway, Tommy, thank you very much for the call, mate.
Cheers, Tommy. He's gone.
Tommy,
gentlemen.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for the call, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Say hello to your cat, Tom.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, mate. Your cat.
Cheers,
I will say, Tommy, your cat is fucking entertaining.
Yeah, your cat's
He's
mental.
He's
mad.
Saying Tommy ain't.
entertaining if you're.
You saying Tommy? You saying his cat's more entertaining?
That's his wingman. What's your? It's Kenny, isn't it? It's Kenny the cat.
Kenny, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little shitbag.
I know. For fuck's sake,
David Moyes'
Kenny.
brother's name. Was it named after David Moyes' brother?
Cheers, Tom. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, boys. Talk to you soon.
See you later, mate. He's getting better Wi-Fi now, isn't he, from the island?
He is. They've obviously had a little bit of work.
Probably bought Elon Musk Starlink.
Before we go, Gary from Claret and Booze, he obviously had one more point to make. So he's texted me, and he
Gary
said,
from Claret and Booze?
Gary from Watford.
Oh, Gary from Watford.
He's asked me to read out his top 4 text. So what he's done is he said, fans of all clubs are brainwashed about the top 4. He's seen us win the FA Cup in 75 and 80. That's what you remember, not top 4. Do you agree with that, Nigel? I think it's, yeah.
Well, that's not probably the last fan of the last 20 years would disagree, probably.
Yeah, I know.
Not of West Ham, but football fans, younger fans would say top 4 is what it's all about.
The funny thing is, when you look at the honours board, they don't ever put up our best season. We finished 3rd, did they? Because it didn't mean nothing at the end of the day. It didn't. Finishing 3rd, we all love them heroes. Those of us that watch them, we worship at the altar of Frank McAvenny.
Yeah.
They won fuck all with us.
No, I know. Fresh fielder. The great set of callers tonight, apart from the I don't know. Yeah, I'm assuming that's Sean.
Sean, we don't even know. Well, yeah, we got Leeds away next, haven't we? No, Sean, we haven't. In fact, our next away game's Fulham. To be fair, and that ain't for another 4 fucking weeks.
Bless him.
Gets away with murder, doesn't he? I'll tell
He
you
does.
what, you and Cannington Len carry that podcast, didn't you? Because he ain't got a clue what's going on, is he?
Yeah, but without him, it'd be shit.
To be fair, Sean is all right. I mean, I think they've all got their opinions on him. It is right what a lot of people say. He's a propaganda machine. He is. But do you know something? I don't think.
know
He,
if he's a
yeah, but yeah, no. But what I will say is,
he tells you what they're sold him.
I believe now, and I mean this, people. He doesn't lie. I think what he tells you is the information that he's been given.
Yeah,
100%. No, he's shown us texts and stuff like that. He's not lying. All he's doing is he's relaying what they're telling him. So he's not telling porky pies.
Why do they choose him as the vessel?
And so who says they chose him?
Well, how the fuck did he build up this relationship of trust?
Can't tell you how sausages is made live on here.
I'm sure he told me I'd fucking eat a few.
Oh dear, is there something's happened? There's a smelly finger in there somewhere, isn't there? I'm sure there is.
Oh,
fucking hell, yeah. He is not wrong, I tell you. It gets to the point I fucking tell him now.
Sean Wetfinger.
Brilliant. Right. Well, look, Nigel, thank you very much for joining us for this marathon. It always is when you come on. To be fair, it's never a short show. Never a short show. But I really enjoyed that.
People think it's me.
I know.
It is you. He asked to go to the toilet an hour and a half ago.
I know. I'm fucking busting.
I bet you're dying. Didn't you? Yeah, John. Look, listen, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please drop a like on the video because it does help us. And we will be back in the week. Probably won't be as frequent with Gary being away and stuff like that, but we will drop rambles and stuff like that. We will do that. But
you got a game against Larnaca on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll do something on that one. We'll do something on that one as well. But
do I have to do Gary's videos where I stare into a camera going?
Yes, yeah, you got to do that.
Fucking really, I'll have a go at one for you. I don't know how good it'll be,
but yeah, definitely. But yeah, thank you very much, and we will see you all again soon. Like I say, yeah, we'll all be back. Like I say, how long's Gary away for? Is it another 2 weeks? It's 2 weeks.
Do you miss your brother? Do you miss your brother that much?
Didn't he say though he was going somewhere else after? I couldn't.
He's back for a week or two, and he's fucking flash bollocks. He's spending his bonus, isn't he?
He sent us some pictures of his seats on the aeroplane. I swear to God, it was bigger than my first fucking bedroom.
Fucking ridiculous.
Has he got a lazy boy? Does he?
Yeah, he had all that.
It's fucking me. He's got a massive screen. He's on Wi-Fi. He's like, yeah, I've gone. Fuck, he's texting me over the Atlantic.
What he's saying is he turned left.
No.
Yeah.
He said,
typical Gary.
He said we got. Yeah.
Always left.
We got Wi-Fi. It was only 18 quid. What?
Thing is, 18 quid for 10 hours on a flight, I'd pay that. I mean, I think
he's watched this show then. Can he not watch this show?
He probably would. But I tell you what, John, I don't, if you won't all know people, but John has a serious fucking phobia of flying. He's terrible. He does. Am I right in saying, John, that you I don't know why you do this, but you specifically ask for seats near an exit door? Is that right? When you're on a flight,
I choose not to sit near my kids and wife because the kids can't sit in the exit seats. But I'm so scared of flying that I have to sit in the exit seats. And one time there was a geezer dressed up as a pilot sitting next to me, and I said to him, "Mate, should you be flying the plane?" Like genuinely thought he's just, Yeah, I don't like flying. It's not normal. It's not normal, is it? You can give me all the science, all the maths you want.
Never had a problem. Then
he don't like it.
I've watched a show called Air Crash Investigations, and I got hooked on it. Yeah, National Geographic. Yeah, and then then they did a story about a plane with turbulence fell out of the sky. And and when I flew back from Palermo, right, we got fucking terrible turbulence.
Yeah.
Shit the life out of me. I've only been on a plane once.
Oh, fucking hell.
2006.
Fucking hell, yeah.
I ain't fucking going again.
You know what, though, right? I'm going to Barcelona in a couple of weeks with my boy for a football tournament. Just me and him. I am dreading it because I don't want to pass the phobia on to him.
He's taking a canoe, John.
I don't. No, I looked at getting a train to France and then a train over to there.
You can get a boat.
It takes forever.
Get a ferry from Plymouth over to Bilbao. Yeah, take your car on and then drive
Yeah,
over
you can.
to
You can do it.
Barcelona.
There are ways of doing it, but you've already booked your flights now, haven't you?
Yeah, I can't take a taxi to Barcelona.
Yeah, nice. But going back to we went to for John's for John's birthday. Your missus done a bit of a wind up, didn't she? She booked you a Sky.
With a fake.
Honestly, right, and now he would know. John would know this is a wind up, but his fear is such that he still reacted incredibly badly. She booked him a skydiving thing. He had to do. The tantrum. Honestly, the fucking tantrum, Nigel. You never seen anything like it. He literally walked out the caravan, stormed off. But
Dougie Montana says he survived 3 plane crashes.
fuck me.
Fucking hell. I need him, don't I?
Yeah, John, you're all right. You ain't even had one. You'll be all right.
Hang on. Irish Tommy's off to a pub. He's going to call it the fish in the coin.
The fish in the coin. That was, brilliant.
That's a good old East End saying, people.
It is. I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you one old East End saying that not many people know. My old aunt told me this. Well, she didn't tell me. I had to ask my mum what the fuck it was that she was talking about. We went round their house, and they were talking about some money, and she kept on referring to a gazunda. Do you know what a gazunda is?
A gazunda?
Yeah.
Is it the thing that goes under the bed?
It's a box that goes under the bed. Yeah. It's the money's in the gazunda. I didn't know what it was.
There you go.
There you go.
Cockney.
Yeah, gazunda.
Proper Cockney.
There you go. Right. Anyway, people, thank you very much. We'll speak to you all again soon. See you later on. Come on, your wines.